Hello, everyone. How's it going? Okay. Uh, Let me just do one or two more things here. We should be good to go. Uh, okay. Hello, everybody. How's it going today? I am a little bit under the weather, in case people were unaware. Um, as I mentioned on Discord, I probably should not be live right now, but we're gonna try our best to tough it out. Here is today's artwork. We'll give the artist some love. Yeah, we're gonna try to go as fast as I can. Noli Boy, thank you, and Valorant, thank you guys for the gift subs. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, for those of you guys that are unaware, I have the heat on in the house. I am basically double layered. Sorry, I had to think about the word there. Um, what appeared to be food poisoning that had me going out of both ends appears to now be maybe like the flu or something like that. So I'm not sure what it is, but we're trying our best. I bring, yeah, okay. I got some medicine in my pocket if I need it. I may at some point have to get up in the middle of stream and take a quick break. That is probably due to needing to use the restroom or feeling particularly bad. My hope will be that that will not come in the middle of the important stuff, but we'll just see. I'll try to pace myself accordingly. I've been in the process on NA here, sorry, on JP of rolling out my boxes. So I am almost done with those. You can see I'm quite full. We've got about 20 of them left. And then NA is pretty chill right now. But I wanted to be live for you guys because there's so much stuff going on today. And I knew it was going to be bad if I missed it. Let's see. So I probably need to do a couple runs of Trom here. Trom's an easy one. I'm just going to get the swords out of this sucker and probably make blue apples. As you guys know, we have the LB7 stream tonight. I'm going to try to cover that with you guys. Again, shouldn't be too much, though there is some intrigue with this. Avalon clued me into the fact that there is apparently a very conspicuous line in the upcoming banner dialogue, which, if you guys have looked at this, there's no real reason to put this in unless you already know that Nita Chrysalter is a thing. given how NA operates, Nitocris Alter would not be teased like this. So it's highly likely that Nito Alter is instead going to be on the first banner rather than on her own separate thing. This would be one of those, hey, we're messing with your clairvoyance things. It would be particularly nasty because some of you guys will be waiting for like New Year's and stuff. So it is what it is. Merry Christmas from under the earth. Thank you, Zord. Fresh tin of popcorn to keep me company. Nice. Look into NA just in case they have extended maintenance. Yes, I do agree with that standpoint. LB7 is coming. We know it's coming tomorrow. We also know that it's coming in a different game state than it did on JP. We also know that it was one of the buggiest releases ever on JP. I highly, highly advise you guys, like 10:50 or something like that, which is at least my time zone, but like basically right before maintenance, log in. Make sure that you guys have that login in your belt. Make sure your AP is spent down. Do everything you can to make sure that you don't waste AP. Isn't it tonight, the live stream? Yeah, so we're gonna see, right? Like maybe at the live stream they have that for us and it's just a like new, unexpected thing. Or is that from the countdown to New Year's news? Yes. So it seems likely that that's a thing because, so for reference chat, Nito Alter was not a thing until her banner later on. Like I said, it's very odd. This would seemingly amount to a spoiler and a revelation of a unit that would not be released yet. So it does seem like there's smoke here. Okay, hopefully that fixes it. Looks like it's claiming it's healthy now. We'll see. Let me know if it happens again. Okay. Will it get better soon? I do too. I do not wish to feel this way. As I told the rest of chat, this is probably the sickest I've ever been in my life. The only reason I am streaming is because of what a big day it is. Kaleems, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Chat, can we get some love for our newest sub? Mr. Trubs, thank you for the 70. Again, thank you guys for the gifted subs. I think that's everyone. I did not feel Christmas vibes this month. To be fair, this was the shortest possible time between Thanksgiving and Christmas that you could possibly have. So that may be why. I know that that's definitely the case with me sometimes. Did you see the Doomer talk because of Santa Arc? I mean, we had Doomer talk when Arcueid first came out. So it is what it is. Like, I know Avalon expressed to me that he's somewhat tired of like a bunch of the like collab stuff. I think that's reasonable. I think we've had a ton of collab stuff this year. We'll see if we continue to get more. I do think next year we'll probably have Strange Fate collab at minimum. So it is what it is. I'm going to say at the end of the day, I don't really mind. And I think people getting upset over Arcueid usually just are kind of missing the forest for the trees. I also just totally took the wrong support in here. This should be a fun note. Thankfully, we have the 3 command seal update, which is, as I mentioned before, not something that JP had at this time. So this is why you may end up getting problems with regards to LB7's patch. Oh yeah, sorry if that came across as a knock against Avalon. That was not. Like, I'm mostly just pointing out that like people that look at the release of a unit and go like, this is the end of the game, usually are off base. I think like this really just boils down to whether or not you trust the developers. If you trust the devs, then you trust that they're going to keep it going for as long as they possibly can. If you don't, then, well, please don't crit it to death. Okay, thank God. Want to see a lot more non-collab units next year? Yeah. And I agree with that. Like, I think this has been an issue. You know me, right? Like, I'm a huge Saberface fan, so I'm always like looking for there to be more Saberfaces. But it just is what it is. I don't have any stars. Free card with the Buster. I probably should have put the Buster up on her, but whatever. You're now going to clear shop in 6 days in natural AP and JP. Yeah, it does feel like they're probably going to make it so that you clear the shop with the lotto. Or not, sorry, not the lotto, the raids. So for anyone that's not been paying attention, JP just got another event announced. It is basically a week-long event. It's the shortest event ever. It has a full-fledged shop. We will probably be expected to clear it in that time. I completely disagree with that. I think they should give you the second week no matter what. But it is what it is. It's whatever they're trying to go for. That being said, yes, it does look like they're trying to incentivize you to do the raid. It's probably a scheme on their end to get us to use all of our apples, because they probably looked and they probably saw that they were in trouble, especially with this last lotto. For instance, I myself completed the lotto still with like 400 silver apples and like 300 gold apples in my account. I didn't even touch my gold apples. So that already tells you the fact that I was able to do 500 boxes like that and still have that many. They've got a huge problem with regards to refills in the game. They basically can't make players spend them, and they're kind of running into issues because of that. Merry Christmas to you too, I'm. Raid during Christmas is cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly concerned with, I hope that the raid has enough time. I do think they're asking for criticism against them due to the way that the lotto was handled. And given the fact that that basically, while they did fix that, we are abutting up and basically only have a couple days to roll out our boxes before we have to turn around and start doing it all again with a raid. Kind of rough. I will say nobody should be complaining about their QP right now on JP. If you are, it's an operator error, not the game's fault. You have had a lotto and you are going into a raid. So nobody should be out of QP at this point. Barrier supports, yep. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I would like to roll. Opinions of Santa Arcueid's potential on Immortal Comp user. I mean, she absolutely has potential. I think the issue at play there is going to be, do you want a single target versus an AoE? Certainly could be a thing, depending on what you're going up against, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Like, for instance, one of the reasons I use Morgan so much is a lot of the times that I'm using her is because there's too many effects going on, and that's why you're using the Immortal Comp, and therefore, if there's too many effects, there's probably too many units, and that's why you're using AoE. But it could be the other way. Could just be a single really bad, annoying unit. My opinion on her kit. I'll probably save that for a day that I can actually go over her. I was planning to go over her tonight, but I decided against it. In the essence of attempting to take it easier on myself. Which, by the way, chat, the live stream's at 9, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Yep, 79 minutes. It's Christmas Eve after all. Yeah, I mean, I'm more worried about being able to like go open presents with my family tomorrow. So it is what it is. So I'm trying to keep the mic close and basically not project my voice too much. Is this event a raid? It is a normal event. There will be a raid on the 29th. Live stream, yeah, NA has a live stream. Need to hire an economist, humble apple and gapple inflation. I mean, I told them they had a problem the very second they released it. I said it was insane that they put no limitation on it. Sorry, there is a limitation. The limitation is so astronomically high, most people will not hit it. Also, chat would do me a favor and keep these song requests coming. Since this is one of mine. Although I don't know if it's broken and only playing mine. Oh, wait. No, somebody else song requested this. Never mind. You have a cold or is it something else? I'm not entirely sure what it is. It was at minimum food poisoning, but now it appears to be a flu or something like that. Basically, it was coming out both ends. So that's all chat really needs to know. Okay, should be fine on that end. Back to JP. Yep, if you guys are curious to see the JP event, you can see I haven't even done that much yet. I've only managed to get up to this point, but we basically have all nodes currently available. I may pop an apple or something just to get to that point, but we'll see. You can see the shop is quite robust. Includes quite a bit of stuff in here. It is a full-fledged shop, not a like halvesies shop. Including statues and again, skill gems. So definitely a lot going in. Sorry. Do not mean to cough in you guys' ear. I have no idea where I'm at currently. That's an all node. What the heck? That's a gold node, so went gold then all. So this is logically bronze. Interestingly enough, I've seen like next to nobody actually have the bronze CE up. And sure enough, as I say that, two of you have it. You can see I just basically haven't even bothered to actually change my lotto comp here. Just running in. Am I rolling today? I will try. I gotta get AP down first. And we do have the lotto. So, not lotto, live stream. Sorry. Listen, Cat just gacha for the 3-star. You right. That is exactly what I will do. Again, apologies if anyone is new coming in today to watch. Like I said, I'm not normally this under the weather, but it just is the way it is. I'm trying to talk sparingly and not like completely crazily. Yeah, I talked about the Nito Alter stuff. It does look like we're getting Nito Alter early. We will see how that takes form. It may just be her banner is coming earlier. She may be piggybacking on another banner. We will see. Yep. You guys have some time to do the Gamba. Gotten to the point where I can't burn anymore, QP. Have you taken a look at your appends and stuff like that? You think this event will have a welfare? No. Nope, given the prior event did. I think if the Doomers have any point, that is probably the better point, is that this does appear to be relatively cash grabby. I'm sure there is a reasoning for them doing it, but it does look like they are attempting to use this event as a little bit of a like shortstop for for, again, like we were talking about, the Apple issue, as well as hey, generating more money. And before a New Year's raid event? No, they probably won't piggyback off a raid event with another raid event. And I'm not going to say it's never been done, just it's highly unlikely. Is Arc limited? Yes, she is. Maestro, they give her the 67. Appreciate it. If I didn't say it earlier, mine, they give her the 49. Again, my apologies. I'm a little bit slow to realize stuff right now. I think that's the... no, that's the gold. Let me try refreshing. There you go. Cece's got the bronze. She's the same comp I was using. Wasn't Tunguska into Case Files rerun with Barbados Raid? Yeah, but there was quite a bit of time between the two of them. It wasn't like back to back immediately. But like I said, that's definitely the time it has happened. I just do not expect it to happen again. Yeah, I'm aware. Did I get the Girls Frontline 2 event done? I cannot get all of her copies because I would need to be a lot higher level, and I basically had no one to help me over this time. I did get a lot of it done. I have all of her copies except one, so that's a thing. But, yep, there's only so much I can do on my own, especially starting late. Actually, I say no one helped. CZ helped out a ton, because CZ gave me a plot, and I have used that to great effect. Just for the Yodokobe? Understandable. Barbados raid done within 7 hours? Yeah. I mean, people went ham on it. We'll see if people go as hard on this raid. I think the only annoying part will be if they allow the raid to be player killed. That will defeat the entire point of doing what they're doing. And it will make quite a few people angry. Oh yeah, this event's been planned. I think people that are thinking that they're just pulling this out like just for more money right now, that, like I said, that's where like Doomers usually get it wrong. Doomers aren't wrong that they're doing it for money. The problem is this was always in the plan. It's not like some desperation move. Well, I'll do that off stream, I guess. Let's get this party started on the rolling. One of the mods would end the Yamba. Now, I would like to denote how long it has been since I have rolled on JP. You guys have seen it before. And usually when people tell you you cannot save up to pity, I laugh at them because this is yet another example of why. I rolled last on Summer BB, I want to say. Maybe since then, but I don't remember. So either way, this party started. I'll start out with a single. Did I roll a Khadroth drop? No. Okay. It looks like I have tickets. Braden thought she was welfare. See, whoever told me to gacha for the 3-star, you a real one. And also, yes, that is Neko Gordolf. No love for Top. I didn't roll for him. Top's a really interesting character, but to me, a 5-star that kills themselves definitely has a lot of issues. He is certainly solid, particularly in damage and utility. But yeah, it is what it is. Like normally, I have party space issues already to begin with. So that being said, there already was a scenario where Tut would be good. So assuming you could do it. Sorry, I don't know why my fingers are auto tapping. I'll tap as we see that it's nothing. How about that? 60 tickets are using all tickets. I will use I will probably out of the 64, I'll probably use 60 of them. There's no point to doing the smaller singles unless I can make them into a 10 roll. So usually at that point I just start doing multis. Hey yo, he came out of the shinies there. LB7 does drop in a few hours tomorrow. Thoughts on using USOs on Tez on an Oh, I mean you can. Up to you. Actually. Oh yeah, Tez is limited. Sorry, I had to think about that. I was like, is Tez permanent? But Hakufu, thank you for the follow. Level 7 drops tomorrow? Damn. I realize we're on the 7th level. Uh-oh. Sumanai. Is not a good day for me. Yeah. That much I can already tell. Congrats, yeah. Yeah, if you guys are wondering, Sumanai is the meme with him. I already have him in P5 on my JP, so he's just a rare prism. Magical girl Sumanai? I mean, I hope not. Was that Amazon Prime ad? Wrong language and everything? They're on to you. They know that you speak that language. They've heard you. They've listened through your computer speakers. I don't know how they can listen through the speakers, but, you know. Happy holidays, thank you. Same to you, Jade. The mean one, Mr. CZ? Wait, why are you adding me when you say that? All right, we got the 4-star CE. It is a Medea CE, proving that they've only almost completely forgotten about her. Not entirely. Probably just Honey selling that information to Amazon. So I heard about this big hullabaloo with Honey. I had no idea this was even a thing. I never had any interactions with them, so I didn't even really realize what Honey was until this all started blowing up. How many P copies am I aiming for? We'll see. We'll see how lucky we get. It really just depends on the luck of the cards. Let me see. Actually, she's got relatively solid MP damage, so. Hello, Type. Merry Christmas to you too. Sorry, Chad. I'm just looking over this on the side. Yeah, that is very good MP damage. Germ pods are not half cost, by the way. I thought they were. Nice haircut. Thank you. I actually cut it myself. 90 Sandcourts for the new arc. I think we are already deeper than that? Question mark? No, not quite. We're coming up on it. How do I do the back? So I'm left-handed. And that's all I can really say. It is quite literally just a case of like I am ambidextrous, and as a result, I can very easily like flip stuff around and do stuff. Not like with perfect precision, but well enough, I suppose. It's not like perfectly tapered in the back, but it's satisfactory. Doesn't look bad. Yeah, I basically usually just take a mirror, stand in front of another mirror, and just flip it around and go on the back of my head. And it usually works. You're a lefty too? Yep. It's in a weird way, being a lefty is often an advantage now, it feels like, because so many things are made for righties that you have to learn how to handle everything as a righty. But you are a lefty. For instance, I play with my computer as a right-handed person would. Feels like bait for New Year's. Oh, I could easily see that. Thing is, performance here is definitely not bait. The performance is pretty stellar for this unit. Like, again, we'll go over the unit probably tomorrow, but yeah, that's the thing. Remember in high school having to deal with a righty desk? Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I never even thought about it as a righty desk. I just thought about it as inconvenient. But that makes sense. Hera, thank you for the 71. Appreciate it. Some of y'all are getting up over 70 years. It's wild to me. Free armrest for my non-dominant hand. Yep. All door handles are made for lefties. Right-handers have to cross arm across their body to open a door. Wait, but you realize that's better, right? Like it gives you more pull. So was Lotto bait then? No. You can't really call the only Lotto in the year a bait, right? But I did mention that we would probably have this discussion that with Lohi being there, that some people are probably going to look at that and go like, what the heck, right? And choose whatever hand's closest to the knob. Yeah, that too. I feel like that finally Pretender got SSR single target. That Kama isn't the only alter ego boss killer on that rarity. I mean, Kama's not the only alter ego boss killer on that rarity. Did it download complete so much better? Nice. Enjoy your new tablet. I like Lohi better though. That's fine. Like I said, some people are going to feel like they got jobbed. Other people are going to be like, whoa, I didn't care. Other people are going to doom. Other people are going to gloom. So. Also Berserkers. Yeah. I'm just, even if you throw out Berserkers, that's not the only SSR. Imagine forgetting Musashi has an anti-alter ego on her NP. Correct. And moon cancer, by the way. Is why they had to give her moon cancer on top of that. I don't know. that one always just seemed weird to me, but Saber Musashi, yes. Czar, thank you for the 65. Appreciate it. Almost to 5.5 years. We have some good luck. Thank you. Was it anti-Doman? If you're talking about Musashi, Doman was never a moon cancer? If you think about it, FGO farming favors righties. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but like, you're wrong. And here's why. Because it just doesn't matter. Lefties are so used to doing everything with the right hand. We have as good of dexterity as like anybody else does with their right hand, which is funny. Like there are certain things like throwing a ball or let me think. I don't know. I'm sure if I wasn't sickness addled, I can come up with more examples. So throwing a ball is one like you definitely want to do with your dominant hand no matter what. Entire universe favors righties, pretty much. Did JP server get more space for the inventory this year? I mean, like all the way back at like anniversary, I think so. But like if you're asking about now, no, because again, it's not New Year's yet. But lefties are sinister, not Dexter. Handling scissors? Most of the time I use scissors right-handed because almost all scissors are not unisex. Which is sad, but it is the way it is. I can definitely use my opposite hand, though. Witch hunting logic? Yeah. While single pulls, I have this many tickets. And there's no 10 pull for the tickets. Cat has admitted he's basically a criminal. What? Computer teachers always demanded that I use my right hand. I mean, to be fair, if it's a right-handed mouse, that makes sense. But if it's a left-handed mouse, they're just assholes. Or unisex. Accountants aren't criminals. Come on, we're not the IRS. Abe no Seimei this year for sure. Yeah. It very well might be Abe no Seimei. Only left-handed mice I've seen were the ergo ones. Yeah, I know a couple people that play left-handed, but they're very rare. And most lefties that I know play right-handed. Maybe it's a saber face for New Year's. If it is, out comes the wallet, chat. I'll just say they got me. How's it going? Oh, I'm just dying. It's okay. When my left hand got dirty from using a pencil in school? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the smudging. Less... What is this? Who? Hey, who? Well, at least we finally got a unit. I don't know if anyone is keeping track right now. It's basically 60 tickets and 60 tickets and one paid the single. That's Huang. Also rolled Maho Shoujo arc is fine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, she's an SSR single target pretender. That's just always going to be strong. I'm not sure why she's a pretender. I assume she's pretending to be Santa. We'll see. Or she's pretending to be a magical girl. Like, it's definitely a meme. Better than Hephaestion? Hephaestion's got more charge. She has more damage. Once this multi concludes, we're at 60. Sorry, 61 technically. Well, 60 tickets and one paid the single, so 181. It's Mariah. Yeah, she escaped containment. Pretending to be Sailor Moon, I guess. Can we get a skip? Sure. There. Not very much of a skip, but... Oh, Trubs is playing his gangster game again. Mariah, the Fortnite character? So it's really funny because I saw, you guys know, like I follow certain artists and stuff, and one of them retweeted. One of them retweeted like, what is it? One of them basically retweeted like 3D CGI porn of Mariah Carey to this song, and I was just like. Like, I had to actually like laugh for a second because it was just like, of course they did. Rule 34. Like, but I was just like, what the fuck? That's a thing, yeah. I got my OG Tamamo and Tamacat to 120, the Slotto and JP. Now I got all the Tamamos to 120. Nice. Congratulations. I think that is our final ticket. Yep. All right, now into the actual multis, which means I can stretch. I don't have to keep hitting the button. Oh yeah, we also got Siegfried. Sorry, I did forget about Sumanai. Amazing how he has that effect. Wait, was that something? No? Okay. My brain. Video I must know. I have... Look, good luck. Go find it. Maybe it's on some Rule 34 site already. But I myself have no idea. Because I didn't... Like, I just looked at it, scrolled right by it after I was just like, oh my god. Dokkan Battle's about to have its 10th Annie. So Dokkan's actually older than FGO. I knew they came out the same year. I thought Dokkan was a little bit behind FGO, though. That's interesting. It's on X? Yes, it is. So you probably find it that way. King Kanye. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Phantasm Moon identified in the 2024 New Year's silhouette. No, I don't think she is. I think we have all of them now. Gold orbs. She was teased in Carnival Phantasm, though. Lancer. Iphion. So far, this is just Spookfest. Let's see, we have a raid. Yeah, I need to finish my boxes first. Which I have, like, the boxes are tedious and annoying, but the real problem's gonna be the it's gonna be the QP. And like finding a place to stash it all. Okay. The both versions of Dokkan are older than FGO Japan, technically. Wild. Have the two servers merged? Like, are they at the same pace now? Or are they still like 6 months behind? It's at least a blonde servant? You're damn right it is. They merged, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Can the single give Avalon Dust Lotto next year? No. It's actually Hashire Soryo. Or is it Woe? Is it Woe or Yo? I don't remember. One of the worst merges ever? Damn. What's up, Zuruku? Again, Merry Christmas to everybody. It's Christmas Eve here where I am, but if you guys are ahead of me in time, it's probably already Christmas there for you guys. Let's making better financial decisions. Oh yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I wouldn't mind if like NA caught up by like a year or something, but having the clairvoyance is definitely nice. Oh, there's no way you could merge tomorrow. Like, there is no way it would work out positively. Ugh. Oh, there she is. That easy, chat. I'll take it. What was the? Was that 270 Avalon? $271. Nice. Not bad. I'll take it. Our favorite blonde lancer? Why would you say such a hurtful thing? I'm lucky it wasn't Faker. True. True. That could have always gone worse. Are we counting it for 270 or 271? I mean, because it occurred before the roll truly ended, I'd say it's technically before 270 if that's the issue, but I leave that discretion up to the mods. Possibility that the new JP New Year servant could be one of the Star Rail characters? No, I think it's got basically a 0% chance. I'm gonna tell you right now, like, while there could be a collab for that in the future, right? Like on FGO side, I would not ever see it as the New Year servant. Like the New Year's servant's usually somebody special to them. And I'm not going to say it's never been a collab unit, but it's always been like, you know, within themselves. Oh. All right, chat. To go deeper or not to go deeper? Deeper. Maybe 2 for the overcharge? That's not why. Her vampiric nature does not mix well with the Saint Graph of something holy. Understandable. I mean, we wish it was Neko Arc. But like, if New Year's is like actually Neko Arc, people will go insane. Like, people will go actually insane. However, what I think they should do, chat, Neko Arc should be a very similar situation to Angry Mango. Neko Arc should not be a gacha unit. Neko Arc should be a like most terrible unit in the game. We might raid Neko Arc. Dear Lord, that would be amazing. Like the Nobus, exactly. Gonna save for New Year's in case there's an emergency. Yeah, that's fine. You guys don't have to justify not rolling to me. In the same way that I don't have to justify rolling more to you. If I want it, I want it. Oh, nice. You got Nindos. MHX Neko Arc would be dope. Yeah. All right, chat. Now let's pray that she doesn't fleece me. They want your approval, CAD? Ah, that's fine. I don't care. Roll for what you guys want. It's Christmas, for fuck's sake. New Year's have all been Asian servants, at least. Define Asian. So you guys remembered Rasputin? I remembered something older. I remember the first New Year. Karna and Arjuna, yeah. That's why I was like, define Asian. What do you mean? Do you mean like Japanese? Do you mean like Asian? You know what? This is a good point. Every single one of our New Year's units has been an Earthling. I think there's a pattern here, chat. Da Vinci was from Bangladesh? What? Huh? Too many Japanese servants in a game made by the Japanese. Wild. Almost like, why are you playing, right? Earthling servants, what's next? Gambling in my gacha game? Yep. Oh. Forgive me, chat. I'm feeling quite irpy at the moment. They all look like Japanese? I mean, they all look anime, if that's what you mean. Crazy to think only 1 week now until most servers GSSR. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Am I going to start LB7 tomorrow? Depends. Depends on timing. Just say come to stream if you don't want the spoilers. Is what it is. I may do it, I may not. Because, like, same deals today. I have, like, dinner supposedly tomorrow with the family. So, like, I don't know if I won't even get to go to it. I don't know if I will be late. Couldn't tell you. Which NA GSSR am I going for? Oh, yeah, it's true. I meant to make the GSSR video, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Destiny orders coming back again, right? Probably not here at New Year's. It's usually only at anniversary. Don't leave your family for a game? Oh, I wouldn't. Chad, the only reason I didn't go to eat with my family is because I'm that freaking like I can barely stand up for like longer than like 2 minutes. I'm quite literally like propped up here. I feel for you. Yeah, it sucks. I don't wish this on anybody. Twin 24 is the highest number of collabs I think I've ever seen. An FGO, yeah. I'm in Interstellar Olympia. Nice. Yeah, see if you can get LB5 done. And then you should be able to do well, start LB6, but technically there's no rush to get LB7 done. So like I told you guys, as long as you guys are done by like roughly like March, April, you should be fine. Yeah, that's what people were saying, Digi. That's why, like, to me, part of this seems like it's again like an Apple gimmick. And they're doing it fast to avoid spoilers. I mean, I'll tell you guys the same things I always tell you guys whenever I do LB, like any of the LBs or story in general, right? If I'm actually gonna do it, usually it's not till that evening. Usually you guys have a head start on me as a result. So it's very difficult for me to catch you unless you are easily distracted. If I don't even do it the first day, you would have even more of a lead. So we'll just see, right? But it's definitely gonna depend. But the other thing I always try to tell you guys is like if you would prefer to like rush LB7 and then instead like watch slash read alongside me and my VODs, that's also something you can do. So if people are like worried about spoilers, like I've had people be like, "Oh no, Cad's catching me," and I'm like, "Why don't you just keep reading alongside me?" If you think about it, it's just saving you time, right? Like, there's obvious ways you guys can handle it. Thank you, Strom. Appreciate it. That that a new CE? Huh? Like I rolled the wrong banner. Very good new CE. I'll take a look at it. Don't you realize how difficult that is for us? Yes. Kid's been out of the gacha loop for a while? I wouldn't say that. I just haven't rolled on JP. You got a new 5-star C earlier as well? Did I? I could have sworn the one I got I already had, but looks like it's debuff success chance and something else. Charge per turn, quick up, and what? Oh, charge per turn, quick up, NP, or sorry, charge per turn, quick up, arts up, and then either NP damage or NP gain. New Shinji? Yep. NP gain? Yeah, that's definitely strong then. I mean, the only issue with it is it's hybrid. I feel like it never fails. I will always get like every new CE on JP. But if you ask me to get an old C, I will never get them. Like Black Grail doesn't exist. Cannot show up. Illegal. Why are all the Shinji C's debuff resistance? It's more like debuff success chance. Because he's a debuffer, I guess. I don't know. Asking for new post girl banner? Probably. Time for a Black Grail K-Scope rate up. Changed my mind. In all seriousness, like the fact that FGO, and I was talking about this the other day with my friends, right? Because we were talking about like Girls Frontline and various other gachas, and it's like the fact that FGO has such a wide pool. Yeah, it sucks if you're going after any one particular thing, but it's also what makes this gacha so diverse and what makes roll streams actually entertaining compared to like any other gacha games. Like again, I got gold orbs here, and we don't know what it is. Okay, so now it's a caster, right? Like, boom, Nito. It's a sign, chat. We are getting Nito altar early. It is a prophecy. But like, yeah, like honestly, I like it. I like the fact that like I don't just immediately know what everything is that I'm gonna get. I can't just force my way into everything. It does suck when you get unlucky, and I've definitely been on both the luck and the unluck side of that. But at the end of the day, it makes it entertaining, so I do like it. Of like 20 units you can get at most. Yeah, I mean, I think I was looking at Girls Frontline, and like their Chinese servers like a year ahead of us, and they only have like I think it's like 30 units at most. Like it only looks like they've released like I don't know, like 7 or 8 more units off of like the actual release roster, which is like just wild to me. Gambling aspect of FGO is more fun than gachas that are very pity based. Yeah, which isn't good for us as the player, right? Like, pity is technically beneficial to the player, but it depends on how you look at pity. Most YouTube gacha rolls focus more on molding over spooks than getting the actual unit. Yeah, I mean, like, this is also why I just stopped really posting my rolls. Like, it's, you know, again, you guys can see it in my live streams that get posted, but like, I didn't really see any value to it because I'm not somebody that'll sit there and constantly mold. In fact, my most clipped stuff on the channel is me molding at a roll, and it's like, it's so rare. Like, for instance, that clip happened like, five years ago. I had to actually think about that. So, CoffeeZilla is going after online gambling and video games now. Good. I think you should. I think a lot of these games are predatory. Like, don't get me wrong. The one thing I will give FGO credit for is it is brutally fair. I told you guys, constant new CE. So it's like it doesn't try to deceive you, but it also doesn't like really give you any like help. Um, but you look at some of these other games and it's like, oh my god, they're so deceptive. Like, for instance, and this part isn't particularly gambling, but there were two instances in Girls Frontline 2 that I've noticed that are really bad. One, if you want to find the actual like exit button to close down the game, you have to go into your little robot companion, go up to your profile, from there go into your settings, and then from there it's in the complete opposite corner a tiny little button that is the power button. That's how deep you have to go just to be able to not have to Alt F4 the game to close it down. Another instance that I noticed is like, for instance, if you want to go pop an apple in Girls Frontline, they will let you, but they don't have a slider. So every single time you hit confirm, it will pop more apples. And I had that happen where I popped 2 apples. It actually kept me up one night as I was like, God damn it, now I have to go like figure out something to do with this. Because I was not at the point of like autoing all my AP. But yeah, it's like, that's just a like little tchotchke scummy thing where it's like, oh yeah, instead of, if you want to stop popping apples, you need to actually like hit the X button in the top right or hit the cancel button. If you hit confirm, it'll just keep opening more apples. But like, that's like just, again, like not even involving the gacha, the length that some of these games will go to. You're smart, you're fine. But I do worry about people like especially younger individuals that are playing these games for the first time. Am I planning to stick around in Girls Frontline 2? I mean, maybe. It seems like a relatively easy like auto game right now, so we'll see. The problem I'm having is like catching up on all the events and stuff. Vitra spooked me on Coin Sky banner. Vitra had banner a few days ago. Talk about bad luck. Yeah. It happens. What's wrong with Alt F4 though? Sometimes it can be bad to close a game that way. Or any program. Yeah, doggos have been good to me. Also, chat, remind me when we get to like 10 minutes left till the live stream. Oh, is there a faster way to get the settings? That's my bad then. Still, though. I'm of the opinion that the exit thing should be on, like, the main menu. Just in general of any game. Hiding it is, like, a complete non-starter to me. I've heard there's harder content coming to Girls Frontline, but I don't know what it is, so. I have managed to beat hard mode content. I have managed to beat content that was over 6 levels higher than me. Boss battles at that, so like, it is what it is. I don't find the game to be that difficult, especially if you're somebody that strategizes. There was one boss that fucked me up quite a bit. There was another boss where the fight took like half an hour, but I passed both of them, so. I've heard Sonic 3 is good. I need to find the time. Does Geo even have an exit button? That's a good point. I mean, to be fair, though, it's like mobile, right? So, mobile, you're used to closing things that way. I don't know if the other mobile games have that. If you actually puts effort into its story most of the time, yeah, I think it's fine. Like, I think like I have my misgivings with the story at certain points, but I think the story overall is just amazing. And like people that sit there and try to claim otherwise are usually just haters. Like, and I've seen people like try to be like, no, Cad, I'm not a hater. I just don't like it. I just don't think it's like that good. And I'm like, that's fine, but I think if you can't like remove your own bias from the equation, and realize that this is a you issue when like everybody else is ranting and raving over it, probably a hater at that point. So it just is what it is. Like 2 dust drops in 1 run, nice. Using those apples wisely, I see. Should a PC client win? I would love that. As long as they let us transfer stuff. Only one I'm missing is Maz and Nagant. I want Maz and Nagant. I'm gonna want to trade. It's totally not Russian Janu. Hit back button on the main screen and it'll ask you to close the game. That doesn't happen with me. Usually it brings up news. Are you sure that's not like an Android only thing? But the back button on your phone. Ah, see, there you go. We don't have a back button, so that's an Android only thing. Got Caster Scotty. I only have MP2 Voyager as my AoE SSR. Any tips on who I should keep an eye on? I mean, you kind of missed a really good opportunity to pull like Castoria. Chat, what banners do we have active right now on NA? Do we still have like the Oberon banner and stuff? Writer. Koyan and Scotty? Yeah, grab Koyan if you can. Koyan's really good. That'll start setting you up for Buster comps. Scotty Banner gave me a Nitocris. See, also a sign. Both the same Xmas surprise banner. I mean, I kind of hope they don't do that because then it throws Future into confusion as to like whether or not NA will get it again type deal. But yeah, usually the units you want to get in the game are the supports. They're usually what really facilitate your capacity to be able to do stuff. It's funny because like I haven't paid any attention to NA's banners because I'm focused on the upcoming banners, not the like what's currently here. But that's just, you know, being a whale in a nutshell type deal. Seeing beyond the bait. I mean, I've had a lot of questions as to like, should you roll like again like Kukulkan or like Tiamat and stuff. So there's gonna be people that are gonna want answers to things, and people that just consider other units to be complete bait. It is what it is. Am I planning to play the new Power World update anytime soon? No, probably not. Although I do have 2 people in the Discord that are playing it, so apparently it's a very big update. Though I heard they totally screwed up how you throw the Pokeballs. Sorry, the legally distinct Poke Squares or whatever the hell they are. Thanks, Nintendo. Yeah. But Oberon left already. Yeah, which is big sad. Like, he'll come back eventually, but Oberon's one of the biggest gets in the game. He's just absolutely broken when it comes to damage amplification. Nintendo thinks they can patent mouse kick W. I mean, I think trying to patent literally everything is just an inherently stupid way to go about it. It's going to result in everybody hating them. So, not the empty pal ball? Okay. Right after Annie, luckily. Yeah, so that's still like what? Like 8 months from now? Maybe 7, depending on how you want to count. Corpse patenting everything is the norm. Yeah. I mean, it just is what it is. Caster again. Cersei. Thought it was going to be Nito again. And then I was like, oh, thank God it's different. And then I was like, oh, wait, it's Cersei. I actually don't know if my Cersei's MP5 or not on JP, though. So if she's not, that's still a good pull. Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, even just having those units are really going to set up the rest of your account. FGO is not like most other gacha games. Like, you could basically get away with using, like, whatever the heck you want. And it's fine as long as you, like, you know, develop the units. Your biggest issue is going to be, like, farming efficiency towards the end game. But you only need, like, a couple of units usually to make something like that work. And again, the biggest chunk of those is going to be having the proper supports. Cad, why the shadow drop? What do you mean? Did I shadow drop? I feel like I pinged everyone. What shadow drop, right? Okay. Chat. You have like 12 minutes till the live stream. I'm gonna like take a very quick break and like go to the bathroom to like alleviate myself. So like give me like not even 5 minutes. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Uh, just like I said, so for anyone that's coming in new here, I basically have been dealing with either some sort of food poisoning or flu. Not really sure what, but it has been kind of rough. So here it is, the best catalyst. What this? Uh yeah, again, for those of you guys that haven't seen, I basically have shaved sides. I did it myself. I get Funny Vamp yet? Yeah, we're on NP2 Funny Vamp. Well, that's what we're rolling for. Actually, I have no idea how deep we are into this one. I mean, I could probably guess, but Super Affection? I gotcha. Wasn't keeping track after NP1. SMH. SMH. Do you remember the quartz amount that I got MP1 at? Gave herself a fade? It's not a fade. Not like tapered into a fade. 171. Okay. Well, no, sorry, the amount of quartz remaining, chat. Or the amount I started with, I suppose, would also tell us the answer. Okay, the live stream's set to go live in 5 minutes. We'll keep rolling until that point. It's true, it is Avalon's birthday. Here with 964, yeah, and 60 tickets. How many copies are we going for? Well, I said I'd go like basically as much as the cards led me, but we'll see. Double check the box? Yeah, I have. Cause like I've emptied out literally everything on my JP box. Also surprised Nez, huh? Didn't miss the NA live? Nope. It's about to happen in like 5 minutes. Not getting fixed for at least 48 hours. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Man, all the 4-star spooks is just going crazy with these. I mean, I get there's no 4-star on rate up, but like, what the heck? Actually, being truly evil here, they should have put Hephaestion on rate up. That would have just been mauled worthy. I've talked it, but did I ever play the Cyberpunk DLC? I had it. I started it. I never finished it. I'll take that Suna copy if you don't want it. No, mine. At least I assume. I don't think I have MP5 of him. But yeah, we're basically going to be watching to see, do we get everything as projected? Is everything smooth, or is the NA stream going to announce something special here? Particularly Nito Chris Alter getting a banner early. There are signs that point to that. Whoops, I pressed back. Well, not back, but Y'all, god damn it. Fingers. You have a special summon animation? No. To be fair, she's not a particularly evil pretender, you know? Not like she's like, it's not like it needs to be like dripping with blood or something, but like, I guess it could work with her being a vampire, so. Her being some sort of funny vamp. It should have just been like Neko Arc just comes by and just like tears it down like it's a poster. But I thought Fion was your favorite Avalon. This is why you were cursed to forever get more Fion. Probably the Abbey pretending to be Santa. Yeah. And put that blood and evil on me? Hey, I'm just saying. You put that on us first. So chat, for those of you guys that already opened your presents, did you guys get everything that you wanted? You get anything cool? I know some people have already had their Christmas. Other people have already opened early. Some people don't celebrate. Socks and underwear? I see. I'm old now? Yeah. Wireless stereo, nice. Yeah, we didn't do White Elephant, but we did an office party, and I won basically caramel corn here, so... Fortunately, I haven't been able... It's actually one of the few things I have been able to eat some, but, like, barely any at all. Hold on. What's the timer? Premiere will begin shortly. Okay, chat. The rolls are to be continued. So stick around after the stream for it. Also, again, a public service reminder. Make sure you guys spend down your AP on NA. You do not want to risk us having long, buggy maintenance due to LB7 coming in. One exploding kittens. What does that even mean? Like, are those literally kittens that explode? Like, am I supposed to take that at face value? Google Play Store gift cards. Nice. Long buggy maintenance to be a Christmas miracle. Yeah, I mean, to a degree, it would be nice for those of us that can't play very much, right? Is Smith and Royd? I believe so. But we'll see if they talk about anything else. I was predicting that we might get like a dev diary. They may just kind of do it all here, so we'll just have to kind of see. Oh wait, no, this isn't Myth and Royd. Sorry, I'm sorry. This is literally Tsukihime. And as that ends, boom, I will silence it. Let me grab Aurelia here. Make her smaller as well.
Hello everybody, my name is Albert Cao. I'm the localization producer for Fate Grand Order here at Aniplex of America. Today's broadcast is the finale for the Road to 7 series. And to make the broadcast all the special, we are here in Japan. Look at this amazing studio that we have here.
Uh-oh. Please tell me they're not going to do the Japanese.
With me, you guys know him already. He is the system localization producer for the English version of Fate Grand Order and the lead editor of Fate Grand Order English.
Hi everybody, for those of you who don't know me, I am Michael, the assistant localization producer for the English version of Fate Grand Order. And while you guys are watching this in December, we are actually here in Tokyo filming in August.
We are right in the middle of summer.
It's really hot.
It is.
So they got to go
really,
to Japan
really
again, chat.
It's probably one of the things that surprised me the most when we got out the airport. My glasses just go.
Oh yeah, it just hit us like a wall of heat.
Fog out immediately. But we have a lot of stuff we want to share with you today.
So many things.
And so I can't wait.
This was pre-recorded that long ago?
So, but before we start everything, of course, for the special program, we have special studio. We're in a special location. Of course, we have very special guests. Today, first, we have Kawasumi-san.
I mean, the camera works already just better. Also, hell yeah.
And then we have Tanaka-san. And we have Anjo-san.
Wait, is that the animation guy?
Hello, Master.
Oh, shit.
I am Ayakasumi, the voice of so many Ultra Pendragons, and Ambony, and Lady Avalon, and 4 from FGO.
Hello, Masters! ニトクリスとワルキューレ、オルトリンデを演じております。田中みなみです。よろしくお願いします。
Oh, shit.
Hello, Masters. So nice to meet you. This is the first time to show me up, right?
Yeah.
A great opportunity. I'm Makoto Anjo, working for a single. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's the animation guy. He's the lead animator.
I'm very excited to meet everybody here today, especially here in Japan for this such a special program for today. Especially for Kawasumi-san. I have already, meet you back in Anime Expo.
Yes.
So how was Anime Expo for you this year?
はい、私7回目ぐらいだったんですけど。7回？そうなんですよ。
Is our animator god? Yeah.
本当に毎回。
That means he's probably here to talk about LB7's map, which makes sense because, you know trips.
アルバートのこの最初のトークがすごく面白かったせいもあると思うんですけど、
聞きたかった。
すごいなんか例年よりも盛り上がった感じがして嬉しかったです。
よかったです。
よかった。
As well as
we were filming this like
other
we talked
animations
about
they can't talk
earlier.
about.
We're filming this in August, but by the time you guys see this, it will be December already. So the question I'm about to ask next might be a little weird because it kind of takes place before it happened. But by the times you guys see this, you might have seen her already. So Tanaka-san,
はい。
we will be welcoming you to Anime NYC this year. So do you have any expectation what you're looking for Anime NYC this year?
This is before Anime NYC.
そうですね。ニューヨークにまず行かせてもらうことが初めてで、それがまだ楽しみですし、北米版のマスターの皆さんに直接お会いできるのも初めてになるので、それがすごい楽しみです。いつもは本当画面越しでハローマスターズって言ってるんですけど、直接きっとお会いできたんだろうなと思って、はい、すごく今の私はとても楽しみにしています。
Recorded. They absolutely should not have done it on Christmas
I'm very
Eve.
excited to see you again in Anime NYC. And next we have Anjo-san. So like we talked about earlier just now, this is the first time I think
they could have done it like a day ago.
I've actually met Anjo-san in person, especially for filming. For always, if we have the Caldea break room, where we always ask about kind of the behind-the-scene development stuff for servants and a lot of stuff. So I always see Anjo-san's answer for all the servant-related stuff, but I think this is the first time I got to work with you for this program. So very looking forward.
Is the retweet campaign meant
just so
nothing again?
people are not
Yeah.
aware, Anjo-san, can you tell us a little bit about what you do at La Single and what your work
Could he use English?
involves?
基本的にはサーバントバトルキャラの制作一般とあとはC ですね概念レースなどの制作を
I do
主に
stuff.
担当しているっていう感じです。
Thank you. So that's I think I'll have a lot more questions I want to ask you regarding all the design things, servants and the animation regarding to, especially with all the chapters we're going to talk about. So I can't wait to see. I'm very looking forward to our conversation today. And also for today's broadcast, we, as mentioned, we'll be talking about, we'll be reviewing all the story that has happened for Fate Grand Order Part 2.
Wait, how long is
so
this
far,
supposed
for all
to
the
be?
Lost Bill story. And we're going to, this time we're going to want to kind of talk about from the perspective of the voice actors. We want to talk about from perspective of localization and also from the development side as well. So kind of give everybody a more like an overall pictures of what is it like when it comes to creating Fate Grand Order and its story. So we hope you enjoy this program
Christmas,
until the
no.
very end. Also, at the end of the program, we have some special surprise for everybody. So we hope you'll look forward to it. And so let's move on to the segment where we talk about kind of
An actual
review
surprise?
the story of all the Lost Bills so far. So we'd like to start out with Part 2, Chapter 1 and Part 2, Chapter 2, so Lost Bill 1 and 2. Before we actually started this recording, we
No,
have
it's an
asked
actual
our
surprise,
guests,
I'll tell you why.
Kaosu-san and Tanaka-san, for kind of like keywords and kind of the key things they would like to talk about. So Kaosu-san, Tanaka-san, can you tell us a little bit about the keywords you guys choose and kind of tell us a little bit the things that you guys want to talk about?
はい。私のキーワードはパツシーさんです。
もうパツシーさんって聞いただけでもう泣けてしまうんです
Yeah,
けど
so basically,
みやみちゃんは
it's because
はい、私の
Albert was
キーワード
really
は
smiling and nodding.
絶望。
It makes me believe it's actually something new. If he wasn't inert, he was like
し
shit-eating
んどかったで
grin.
すよね。
そうなんですよ。初めて
Sorry, not Albert.
今までのこの違うじゃないですか。
Michael.
二分体になったっていうので、あ、そうかこういう感じかっていう得意点との違いっていうのを
Michael was right next to him, and he was
一
like,
章でね、こういうことかっていうのをまず味わいましたよね。
いやもうアナスタシアがもうねカルデアに来てめちゃくちゃにしてしまってもうそれでまず絶望だし、もうダヴィンチちゃんっていうのでもうみんな多分ショックだったと思うんですよ。
No, I don't think everyone's getting a
そこ
free
でまず絶望の始まりが私の中で
But
は
I don't think it's a coincidence that Nito Chris' voice actress
もう
is
何
here.
もわからないまま
Granted, she is
異
involved
文
with
体
Lost
に行くじゃないですか。
Belt, so it is what it is.
そこでこの異文体をこう、ね、切り取ってさよならしてまた次の旅に行かないといけないっていうそのまず一つ栄えたこの歴史をこう壊さないといけないっていうその初めてのこの絶望感にちょっと戸惑いましたね。立ち向かっていけるのかなって。でそんな時に現れてくれたのがパツシーさん、だからこそそのパツシーさんのこの俺はてめえを絶対に許さないっていうこの一連のシーンでちょっとその心が救われたっていうこの異文体の旅をこう本当頑張っていこうっていうこの新しい気持ちに切り替えさせてくれたのがこのパツシーさんのシーンだなって私も
Keep in mind when this came out, chat,
Thank
prior
you.
to
And
Anime
I think,
NYC,
for that,
which is prior to the need
from
for
the
a coin fix.
like it's from the localization perspective, I think I want to ask Michael
From the devs' perspective.
regarding what our kind of guests just talk about, especially regarding the despair of Lost Bill. You know, this is the first Lost Bill we get into. You know, we run into a completely different environment.
Yes.
We learned that our mission basically changed at this point. So,
put it mildly.
I'm sure there's a lot from probably the language perspective, the word choices. So can you tell us a little bit about Lost Bill 1 and its kind of localization?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So despair just kind of hangs heavy over Part 2, it feels like. And one of the things that I think really hammered that home at the start of Lost Belt 2
Which
is
through
when
the
they
days
introduced the
before the
character of
incident,
Salieri,
yeah.
who is famous for composing opera, which is famously not a happy sort of story. So I think that his presence is really great as just an indicator that we're moving into a segment of the story that does not include happy endings for anybody. And when we're writing dialogue for characters like Salieri, he's very fatalistic, like a lot of the words that he chooses to use. He's extremely formal in the way that he talks. He's very sort of aloof, but he's also very, I would say operatic, which seems appropriate, but grandiose. He talks about, I was brought here to make sure that hell reigns and things like that. So it's very sort of dark, edgy dialogue. But when he changes sides later in the Lost Belt and joins you,
don't expect
his
anything
despair
that crazy.
starts to come through. As he starts to realize that as a warrior, he's not really worth much, and that he just feels like the words he uses are empty husk. Because he spent so much of the Lost Belt pretending to be Amadeus.
Asmongold is
that despair really comes
a story
through
director
in the way
for
that
FGONA.
He's really forlorn with his word choice. He's really morose, and then you get the intensity from characters like that, and like from Patsy. The "I'll never forgive you" scene is such a great scene, and it was so fun to write. Because there's so much intensity in that moment. He's lived his whole life in this world that's all about strength, and now he's seeing that there's something else, and he starts to talk about that he's never going to forgive you for showing him the idea that he uses the word weak little world, that he wants you to go and defend. So what we tried to do in that moment is, because he's despairing, as you pointed out, but he's also really angry. Because he's just learned that there's this whole new possibility for what the universe could be. So we write his dialogue to be, he swears a lot during that sequence. He's very aggressive and his words become, he's commanding you, a lot of exclamation points at the end of his dialogue. And he just gets much more forceful in his speech during that moment, because in his final moments, he's kind of the guy who kicks off the importance of winning in the Lost Belt in spite of what that costs everybody.
#winning.
I think that's we don't have a lot of this chance where we kind of talk about the same story from the localization side and from the guest side as well. So what do you guys think about the kind of explanation behind how we write the English versus how Japanese is kind of portrayed for the characters? So let's say, for example, like what Michael just talked about. Patsy swears a lot. And for English language, depending on how you use swearing and cussing words, it can become part of the characterization. Now, obviously, that doesn't kind of appear in Japanese a lot, because I think you just swear a lot in Japanese. I think that kind of character gets thrown off a little bit. So I'm glad we have this opportunity to kind of talk about this kind of story. So. Do you guys have any questions regarding the English and how, what some of the characters that you're interested kind of to learn about the English part about for this chapter?
How the rules go? We got one copy of her. We're trying to get second, but we got interrupted by the stream.
日本語でも難しいんですよ。確かに、特殊な言葉があって、だからそれがその一つ一つ文化に合うように。同じ言葉が存在しないものをどうやってやってるの、言葉を見つけてくるのとかも結構気になりますね。
Yeah, noble phantasm.
It's quite a process, which is a sentence that's doing a lot of heavy lifting for just how involved that process is. It's never straightforward. As you said, the language in Japanese is really complex. So often a lot of what we struggle with is finding the correct English words. Not just the correct words, but the correct way to convey them. To make sure that we're matching the right concepts, matching the feel for the character dialogue. So going back to the example of the "I'll never forgive you" moment.
Wrong unit, no, but they have messed the rate up.
Patsy has been very matter-of-fact in how he deals with you for the whole Lost Belt. He's just very direct, and he's generally fairly helpful.
Yes, that's
and there's nothing that really makes him stand out as a person until that moment when he gets angry and the entire way he talks to you changes. And so that's one of the things that we try to focus on, is those big moments where something shifts and there's a huge change in the way a character approaches a situation,
ChatGPT,
or the way that a character feels, and that changes how they talk and how they present themselves. And we have to try to make sure that we're presenting that accurately in the English, And as Albert said, the swearing in English doesn't have a one-to-one in the Japanese, but that's a situation where we added it because it
I think Ian
conveyed
does
the
most of a good job.
frustration and the despair and
People give him too much shit.
the anguish that he felt with his dying breath.
Except for a certain name.
And so that's, those are the sort of things that we're always thinking about when we're doing it. And it often involves, I'll be talking to Albert or I'll be talking to our translators and say, okay, well, look at this. Is this right? No, not quite like this. And then we go back and we rewrite it and then we look at it again. Does this look right? It's like, well, okay, but this wouldn't quite be like that. And so it's a lot of back and forth and fine tuning between an entire team of people who are really, really dedicated to Fate.
Oh yeah, I know.
すごく思ったのがパスジーさんってすごくこう諦めてるじゃないですか、最初の時点
世界に対して。
でもそれが実は違ったんだっていう彼の怒りっていうのが、その英語ならではのそういうこうちょっと乱暴な言葉を使うことによってよりキャラクター性がクリアになるかなっていうのは思いました。
もしかしたらより日本語よりもクリアになっているかもしれないですね。
It's because it's in
直接
Japan.
的に伝わると言いますか。
They can't phone this one in because it's actually costing them
So I
money.
hope everybody get a picture of like what was the difference
This
and
isn't a
how we
casting
created the
couch
story.
stream.
And with story, of course, with FGO, we always have a lot of battles that kind of go along with the story. And starting with the Lost builds, there's a lot more models and animation get added. There are different kind of enemies now. And for Lost Build 1, it's the first time we start seeing servant-to-servant battle with your servant versus the enemy.
The translators
servant.
actually
So when
have
it comes to
difficult
kind
to
of
say.
the process of creating basically a whole bunch of new sets of animations for
I
the
think it's
enemies,
less than a dozen.
starting Lost Build 1 and the servant-to-servant battles. What is the kind of the creation process behind that? And or if in addition to that, does Anjo-san have any also other kind of like memorable moments when you guys start developing for Lost Build 1?
まずその
You're not
ロストベ
wrong.
ルトに
Just
入っ
because
た段
like
階で
the fact that they have an actual game staff member
那須さんたちもこう
and the
新
VAs
しい
that have to be
章に
paid to be
入
here.
ったっていうのを見せたか
Yeah,
った
they're gonna
と思う
try.
んですね。だから最初に出てくるもうモブキャラ殺戮両兵っていうのがいて、オプリチニキかな、あれがもうね真っ黒なんですよ。もうロングコート着てて、でベストマスクみたいな、でかなり異質で今までああいうモブってあんまりいなかったと思うんですけど、だからちょっとなんか違う世界に入ったぞっていうのをこう見せられるようにっていうような工夫をこう
Amazing
最
angle.
初の方は
Yes,
結
it
構
is.
意識的にやってたっていうのはまあありますよね。
Yeah, because I also remember I think
Heinous
when
booba.
Lost Build 2 when Lost Build 1 starts, we start seeing all different kind of enemies. So I think so I think it's very interesting to kind of see the vision behind the creators. I say, for example, what Anjo-san just said, that they want a feeling that you're now actually in a different world. So it's completely a brand new set of enemies that appears very different, very out of place. So thank you, Anjo-san, for the answer. And I can't wait to hear what we have.
Yeah,
for
Arcueid
the
is
next
100% on
So
Nasu.
now we're at
like
Lost Build
naming
2.
her incorrectly is
So
just
for Lost Build 2,
his fault.
Kasumi-san, Tanaka-san,
It's why I
can you
can't
also tell
give it
us your choice of keywords
a perfect,
for this chapter?
a perfect grade on the
私のキーワー
localization.
ドはオフェリアです。
はい、私のキーワードは愛。
なんかすごい2人のチョイス、私は
You
人
didn't
の
want
チ
to
ョ
go
イス
with
でした。
burning passion?
その中身と言いますか。
そうなんですけど、やっぱりもう私も理由としては本当にいろんな愛の形が描かれたストーリーだと思うんですけど、なんかその結構印象的だったのが、やっぱりクリプターって、そのマスターと違ってすごくこう A チームって呼ばれてて、みんなすごくこう優秀でって割とこう目的のためには感情をこう排除してっていう印象だったのが、このオフェリアの気持ちがものすごくこう後半どんどん伝わってくるなっていうのがあって、でやっぱりもう本当に結構こう2部ですね、第2部はずっとそういう印象があるんですけど、結構こう印象的ななんていうんだグラフィックがあって、で本当に自分で初めてこう目を出してマナーを使うっていう、かっこよかった。そうなんですよ。
魔眼使うし大霊術使うし
そうなんですよ。
もうオフェリアさん嫌いな人いない
いないと思います。
はい、
Cat, does anyone dislike
全然
Ophelia?
本当に他のシグルドたちの愛もありますし、で私結構こうアンジュさんにも聞きたかったんですけど、一章の話とちょっと似ちゃうんですけど、やっぱり敵の姿がすごく印象的で、今回巨人っていうのでその絶対にかなわないっていうような感じの敵がモブキャラで出てくるじゃないですか。なのでまず最初にこの異文体に来て、あ、今回はこういう感じの敵と戦っていかなきゃいけないんだっていう絶望感からの最後のスルトですよ。だからもうなんか本当に今回この2章は結構こうグラフィックもすごく印象深いっていうのはありましたね。
そうですね、マップも結構燃えたりとかし
I
て、
do feel like Chapter
すごい
2
なんか
ramped it up a
変わ
notch.
ったなっていうのがやっぱりより伝わりましたよね。
はい。
そこはなんだろう、北欧が舞台っていうところもあるんで、その北欧神
No,
話
not you, Mayran.
によく出てくる、巨人
はい。
とかをこうたくさん出しつつ、最後はもちろん北欧の神の一人のスレッドが出てくる。そういう流れはもちろんある中で、じゃあどういうふうにデザインしましょうかみたいなところは結構揉んだところではあって、結構難しいのが、巨人って一言で言えるけどどれぐらいでかいの
Well, they should be really big.
難しくて、でバトルシーンだとあんまり巨人にしすぎると
DJ,
入
thank you
ら
for
な
the
い。
resub. Appreciate it.
ですっごいカメラ
Welcome
引か
back
な
to
きゃ
the
ならなかったり、
channel. Enjoy your
そうする
emotes.
と背景ものすごい描かなきゃいけないとか、そういろいろバランス取りながらやんなきゃいけなくて、
難しい。
そうなんですよ。
興味深い。あとほらオルトリンデちゃんが。
そうなんです、
はい
オルトリンデたちがヒルドとねスルーズが、はい、
再臨書っていうのもちょっとね。
そうですね、召喚したらその再臨ごとにそのそれぞれのサーバントを変えられるってい
She
う。
would like the
あれ
Valkyries.
も初めて
She voices
初めて
them.
ましたよね。
竹内さんが
そうなんですね。
それでもともとなんかワルキューレ自体に思い入れがあるみたいで、
そうですね、大好きっていうのを
そう
はい聞いてました。
それで最初に出てきたデザイン画からしてなんかたくさんあるんだけどそれ
いっぱいい
で
るな、フォーグ展開したらもっといっぱいいるなみたいな。
そうですね。
ですよね。
これを切り替えて使えるようにしたいっていうんで、
はい。
その一つのサーバントでそんなに切り替えられるっていうのはそれまでなかったので、
そうですよ
ちょっ
ね。
どうなのかなって思いつつ作ってたんですけど、さらにフォーグの時はもっと出るんで、
はい。
そうなんですよ。
あれも確かに全員違う顔
はい。
があるんで、
大変で
これは
したよね。
ちょっとみたいな。最
He's
初は
thinking back. He's like,
無
man.
理っぽいなって印象だったんですけど、まあなんとか。
でもなんか特別感はありますよ
はい、
ね。
実現本当にできたんだと思って、私も最初資料をいただいた時にどういうことって思って、もうこれはもう
そうだよね
はい、もう現場に行って全員じゃ CV も違う
So
し、
he's way more
そ
comfortable
の
with the
サーバントも
VAs
違うしっていう
based
見
off
た目
his
も違うし
posture.
っていうので、もうすごい私も頭に
He's
中
like
に
lean
ハテナがい
forward,
っぱいあって、
interested,
もうこれは現場
staring
に行って
right
聞
at
こうと
them,
思
making
ったら
direct eye
再臨
contact.
の状態で変わるんだ
When
よ
it's
ってい
like
うのは
Albert,
すごいなん
he's
か
like leaned
一気に
back.
とてもお得な感じが
Arms crossed.
してきっとみんなもね弾いてくれたんじゃないかなと思います。
はい。
Thank you. I think that's a very interesting topic. It actually leads pretty well into what we want to talk about regarding the character models for the Valkyries. I think that's a very
Okay.
interesting
He's
topic.
actually
And
showing a little bit
for
of interest
giants,
here.
I think later when we go down to
Maybe he's
the
trying to
more
use it as an
later
English lesson.
Lost Bills, I think I want to talk more about giant enemies and how does that fit into the phone screens that we mainly play with, and,
All right,
and
chat.
how do
We're
you
through
manage
2 of them.
the kind of proportion and the animation with it. But also, I think I want to circle back to the story part a little bit regarding love.
Oh,
That's
no,
like
never mind.
like a big topic, a big
thought we were
theme
done.
for Lost Bell number 2. So, regarding love, do you have anything that you can say?
Oh wow, you're
Michael?
asking me about love?
Love.
So this is actually really great because as long as
Quick.
Kawasumi-san and Tanaka-san are going to keep giving me 2 keywords that are really well connected,
Michael.
this is going to go very well for
Drop the line that you're single.
Yeah, love. The approach to love in Lost Belt 2 is really interesting because I think we get a number of different kinds of love, and it's embodied in
Now's
I
your
think 3
chance.
sets of characters. So we have Ophelia and Cert, who are sort of the toxic, controlling love. Very tragic to take us back to despair. But also we have Brynhild and Sigurd, who are obviously a doomed love, but when we see them, they're a much sort of healthier, more of a couple, more of a cooperative kind of love. And we also have Scotty, whose love is defined by loss, and sort of an academic bird's eye understanding of what love between people is.
I don't think they will. Because it's Road to 7.
So looking at Ophelia in particular in Cert, because those are the ones that you brought up, there's that fantastic moment that you were talking about right before the serious light is revealed where Cert is controlling Ophelia's mind. And he's sort of melded his soul into herself, and he's using her. And one of the things that happens is he's speaking
I'd
directly to her.
I'd say by pure estimate, you guys have at least,
when we were localizing
a half
we
hour
wanted to
if
make
you need
sure
to
that
like
it
go
was
do
clear
something.
that this was not love as we understand it, or at least not as we would want it for ourselves. So when he's talking to Ophelia, what he's doing, all of his dialogue, he's dictating to her. He's telling her, this is what you're going to do. You can't escape me. I possess you. So his words become very controlling, very possessive, and there's no room for Ophelia in that conversation. In fact, for most of the conversation, all Ophelia has are just stops and starts of or She doesn't get any words out really, except that she's just confused because her mind is clouded. And that contrasts so beautifully with Sigurd and Brynhild when the moment comes for them to go after Sigurd, and they know it means death. They don't dictate to each other. They reach this conclusion together. I think the line was, it's time to end this, my love. So Cert always addresses Ophelia as Ophelia or as you, but Brynhild and Sigurd have this much more intimate connection where they address each other as my love. Their terms are much more affectionate. Their addresses to each other are much more concerned about what the other one wants and is doing. So we wanted to depict these different kinds of love. And then when it gets to Scotty is still trying to figure out what love is and is trying to contextualize that outside of the loss of all the other gods and her continually losing all of the people in this world that she's trying to protect. So for her, love is sadness, which is why so much of Scotty's dialogue is very subdued, very sort of just sad and wistful and looking on what she's lost and reflecting more on that than what's ahead of her, because for Scotty, everything is behind her. So those were the sort of things that we were focusing on in terms of love in Lost Belt 2.
Yeah.
Still not pleasant, yeah.
I think you brought up a good point, and I think circle back to what we were talking about earlier as well, is that the expression for Japanese and English is so different. And then the Japanese itself has its own, of course, a very complex, a very complicated way of writing expression as well. But when it comes to English,
just instead
like
what
Michael just said, my love, instead of Japanese, sometimes the address isn't even there. So I think it's very interesting that we see this contrast of how like pick the right word, pick the right
English. It's hard.
Yeah.
Especially because we express affection so differently in the two languages.
Exactly. So like that one-to-one translation sometimes we try to tread very carefully.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, so.
いやなんか今ちょっと一番基本的なことで一人称が日本はいっぱいあるじゃないですか。
ある。
僕って言ったり私って言ったり俺って言ったり、それが結構日本のキャラクターの造形としてすごく大事なところになってたりする中で、英語は少ないでしょ？
英語は少ない。
それはどうしてるんですか？
So, I think,
well, there are a lot of ways, and I think one of the things that's most different about English is it's very rare to use the same word twice, really close together. Like we try to vary those addresses a little differently. So we may not have a pronoun that conveys a specific way you feel about somebody, but instead of saying, oh, you're crazy, someone might say, well, this guy's crazy. As a way to sort of distance yourself from somebody and make it clear that you're talking about somebody that either you don't like or you're not close to.
Watch these
so
American
we may not,
streams.
in some cases, use pronouns. We may come up with entirely different ways to address people, and it can be extremely contextual. But it means essentially the same thing as the pronouns that you're talking about in Japanese.
And I think this is a very good conversation to segue into the next thing we're going to talk about, especially when regarding this next keywords. I think it's a perfect way to go into the next part. So the next part is we're going, of course, going to talk about Lost Spell 3 and Lost Spell 4. So we'll start with the Lost Spell 3, and first we're going to hear about the keywords, and I think then everybody will know why we're like, oh, it makes sense now, especially with this next keyword that's coming out. So for Lost Spell 3, Kawasumi-san and Tanaka-san, can you tell us about the keywords that you choose?
Minor disarray.
もうどう翻訳するのが楽しみ。私のキーワードはチンです。
いや確かに、はい、私のキーワードはそれってありです。はい。
The royal we chat.
チンってどうやって訳したんですか？
そうなんですよ。
すごい気になりますね。
This is going to surprise you, because this is one of the easiest translations that we have. So there's this thing in English that's a tradition for monarchs who are very high up, like kings and emperors. Never refer to themselves as I. They always refer to themselves in the plural form, we, which is there are two. They're referring to themselves both as the human and as the office of emperor, so that we call it the body natural, which is the human, and the body politic, which is the office of emperor. So we was actually perfect for Jin, because that's exactly how an emperor would refer to themselves back then. So Jin always in the English version refers to himself as we. We are happy to see you. We are displeased. We want you to do this.
We
actually went with we there.
いやでもそのなんかエンペラーとキングの差とかもあるし、やっぱりそこはすごくこう日本人ではわからないところだからすごく興味があって、でこのチンは日本でもちょっとこう流行ったんですよ。特殊な
言い方ですからね。私も本当 NGO で初めて知ったと言いますか。
やっぱりなんかこのチンっていう言い方で始皇帝という本当にこう中国で本当にもう有名な王様の存在が彼が一人称を使うとしたらもうっていうしかない。だからなんかすごくこう
This is why they started stripping the true names
興味があったので嬉しいです今回。
すごい。
ありがとうございます。
そうですね。始皇帝が We って言ってるのなんか頭に浮かびますもんね。
かっこいいですね。
かっこいいです。鳥肌立った。
個人っていうかもうそのなんか国家っていうような感じになるんですかね。
ことですよね。もう国民たちの思いが自分のものっていうそういう考えになるんだなっていうのがこの We に全てこもってるのが、いやすごいこのまた英語と日本語の違いが現れていいですね。
ありましたね。あとなんかみなみちゃんこうストーリー的に。
そうですね。キーワードで言うと本当にそれってありっていうのがやっぱチームもそうなんですけど、はいグビ人がクリプターでしかもパイセンだし不老不死だしなんかもうそんなのってありなんだストーリー的にみたいなですね。すごい私たちも騙されたと言いますか、すごいそのストーリー上でも面白く作用してくれたなと思いますし、あと印象に残ってるのはスパルタクスさんがかっ飛んでいったシーン、CM でもあったと思うんですけど、これは一体何のシーンだろうって CM でも思っていたところがあんなに感動的なシーンだったとはやっぱこういうストーリー見ないとわからないので、いやすごいやっぱここで真のみんなが本当の英雄を見てみんなで召喚ができる、マスターが召喚できるっていうこのシステムがストーリーに紐づいていて、いや面白いなって思いました。
That scene. Oh man, that scene.
はい、泣けますよね。かっこいい。
Yeah, so that was a really interesting scene to write because it's
you can tell he's
Spartacus is such a typical berserker until he isn't. And that was the scene where he wasn't. Right before then, it's him and Mordred fighting over what you're going to do about that situation, and then Jin just throws this cosmic curveball at you, and Spartacus is just like, "I've got this." And it was such a fun scene to write because we needed him to be. He has to be a berserker. He has to be crazy.
The VAs are carrying it,
but in that moment, he's also eerily calm. because this is his great moment of rebellion. And so we focused on language that reflected rebellion. There's a lot of uses of freedom,
Like Anjo will carry
resistance, rebellion,
later, but
oppression, those sorts of things. So we wanted to make sure that that was mirrored in what he's actually doing, of course, because he's jumping into the stratosphere.
you know,
But we
Anjo's
also
sitting there,
wanted
he's
to make
like,
sure that his speech
I could be animating
retained
right
that. The thing that made us all cry when we were
like
reading
this
it
is going to result in a delay.
because it's beautiful what he's doing and what he's giving up, and he's doing it for you and for all of these people who he sees that have been oppressed, that he feels so strongly about. But he's at his most eloquent in that moment. So we had to make sure that he sounded not as sophisticated as someone like Jin, but like someone who could make a good point.
Yeah, Albert's like looking
Like someone who
around.
could really convey his feelings so that later you remembered them and could act on them, because that's the spirit of the entire rest of the Lost Belt. So that was a pivotal scene,
Can't tell if that's
and
a
me and the other editor
projection,
spent a tremendous amount of time
or if that's like
going back and forth, honing that and making sure that
an
every note
actual like
hit
image
just
board
right.
behind them.
やっぱこの反逆っていうのがこう今まで「おスパルタクス
Quality-wise
大丈夫
looks
か?」
like
みたいな感じでバーサーカーだしちょっと抑えて抑えてって言っていたところを「いけ!」みたいな「反逆しろ!」みたいなっていうこの気持ちにこう切り替わるといいますか、
No,
なん
no,
か
I
こ
think it
う
is
ス
an
パル
image
タク
board.
スさんがすごい輝い
You
て
can see the,
る
like,
瞬間
panels.
だなって、はい、私
Ever so
もすごい
slightly.
思いました。だから多分きっとみんなの心に刺さるんだなって思います。
Because what's
Thank
weird
you.
is it goes all the
And
way
I
to the
think for
ground.
Anjo-san, of course, we're just talking about the first emperor, Qin Shi Huang.
I think it's a
being
screen.
a very pivotal and important character
means
of this
expensive.
Lost Belt, and eventually you'll have to fight him. And for this character, when it comes to animation, we're talking about his very regal, but there's also that kind of mystical element that's combined into his animation. So as of king of this Lost Belt,
could be from behind.
someone who basically won before we even arrive. What are some of the key points when it comes to animating this character that you want to make sure that people see that
I didn't think
he's
about
this
that.
completely different dimension of being that transcends everything, and we see that he's this powerful presence.
始皇帝だけでなくグビ人とかも含めてなんですけど、やっぱりすごく演出として
Yeah, at least once you
抽
beat
象
them,
的な
right?
表現を入れて、その
Like once you beat the
ちょ
LB,
っと
you get
別
that as
次
a
元
background.
にいるような
choice.
雰囲気を出していくっていうようなのは結構トライアンドエラーを繰り返して
I have no idea, Mac.
こういう感じかなっていうような結
I
構
mean, I know he
そうな
speaks
んですよね
Japanese,
地味
but I
な
don't
作
know
業
if
だ
that
ったかも
means
し
he's
れない
part
けど結構大変
Japanese
ではあっ
or
て、
some
や
other.
っぱりスケール感を出すために
Oriental
ああいう感じのフォグにもなったし、
Oh,
グビ人も最後あれは自分のフォグ受けて自分一回死ぬんですよね。
this is rough on me
その後すぐ復活してるんですけど
because I'm just
そ
having
う
to sit here like
いう
this.
のも含めてなんか、そうその人となりをこう表せるよっていうのはこう全体的に結構苦労してこの
Albert Cow? Yeah, that's true. He probably is
キャラクターは
Chinese.
作ったなっていう。
コウさんはどうですか？結構造形は最初びっくりしたんですけど。
そうなんですよね。腕めっちゃあるしこれ全部動かすの大変なんですけどって思ったんですけど、まあでも攻撃自体はとにかくその
Interesting.
武将
Oh,
と
no wonder
して
he never talks about
パワフル
that.
であるっていうところをこう全面的に押し出して
Might
って
anger
いう
someone.
そこが魅力になればいいかなという形では作ったんですけど、結局こうどれだけジャンプするのかどれだけ溜めるのか、どんだけ早く落ちるのかみたいなのも微調整はかなりしなきゃならなくて。
That must mean he's self-taught
そう
Japanese,
ど
though, which is
どこが
pretty
一番気持
amazing.
ちいいんだろうっていうのが事前には分かんない。
なるほど。
もう見ながら調整していくっていう
うわ
感
ーすごい。
でも繰り返し見ることになるものですもんね。ああいうバトルアクション。
じなんですよ。でずっと見てるとね分かんなく
いや
て、
そうですよね。うわー大変だ。
たまに違う人に見てもらって。
限られた時間の中でどう見せるのが一番かっこいいかみたいな。
グッて溜めてパッて飛んでってなりますよね。
ですよね。
そんな
私たちいつもわあかっこいいって言ってるけども多分緻密な計算が
Compared to
行
the
われてね
mainland? Oh,
何で
yeah,
も世界みたい
obviously.
な感じですよね。
ね
すごい。
面白い。
And I think that that level of of scale and like transcending to a different dimension also leads into great topics into the next chapter, which is Lost Spell number 4, and where we actually get into not the skill is different. We're going to kind of like we usually run into kings, queens, demigods, someone who's powerful, someone who has a strong presence, but there's always someone who can counter that person. But when we go into Lost Spell number 4, there's only one absolute presence left. So with that, let's kind of segment into talking about that a little bit more. And there are a lot of more characters that kind of plays into how they have to go into this kind of pretty absolute situation. How do they have to break out of it? And one of the keywords I think for this scene, I cry a lot knowing the struggle that she has to go through being there. But let's kind of go into that. So the keywords for Lost Spell number 4.
はい、私のキーワードは神の空岩です。
私のキーワードは不要なものです。
なんか私が個人的になんですけど、
when you're summoned from the throne, you have like all like current cultural knowledge and stuff that you would need to know in order to not stand out.
すごくツボで。
It would make sense that you would be paired in the same language as your master.
ガネーシャさんがあそこにこう閉じこもってあそこにがあることでアルジュナの絶対的なものを崩せる。
In fact, that may even be a catalyst.
すごくこう戦い方として派手ではないけど、もう何よりも強くて、でこのまさにで第18節の「刹那という句をなって君と」っていうストーリーが。本当に泣けますよね。
しかもそこで待ってるのがカルナさんっていうのがもうそのエクストラ CCC のかつてのマスターとそのサーバントの関係性だったっていうのがいろんなものを超えての2人の関係性がいいですよね。
で本当にずっとマスターからしたら一瞬なんだけど、彼女がどれだけそこに行ってくれたおかげでこうなったかっていうので初めてこう出てこれて、引きこもりだってっていう言葉を言ってもらってっていうのがなんかもうなんかこう今までこう FGO では見たことのないなんか新たな戦い方と新たな強さを見せてもらったなっていう感じが。
Yeah, I don't even think it's really necessarily the Grail, quote unquote. I think it's just the throne.
っていうそのジナコの得意な部分が輝くんだ。
そうでもなんかそれこそどんどん辛くなってもう一人は辛いよって。
Because the same could be said for like Counterforce and like Grand Servants and stuff like that.
っていうなんかこう。
切なくていいですよね。
いいんですよ。で今回あとさらにこう新たな敵、やっぱり本当にロストベルトは敵の姿が本当にそれぞれ印象的だと思うんですけど、カリっていう。
Well, it's because fist is a universal language.
毎回絶対叶わないよって思う。
いや本当にもうやめてって思いますよね。
っていうのがその話も安城さんにも聞きたいですけど、はい。
そうですね。ここもやっぱりインドっぽい印象があるような敵も作りつつ、あとやっぱ基本的にはアルジュナ・オルタを中心としてインド系のサーバントも多いですけど、他にもウィリアム・テルとかアスクレビウスとか出てきて、結構回収も多かったんですよね。アルジュナとかカルナも回収。
スーパーカルナさんになりますもんね。修行を終えてアシュバッターマンとの。
そうなんですよ。アシュバッターマンとそのカルナ、あとアルジュナ・オルタ、全部その工具でパコさんの書き下ろしのカットイン。
Right now, you don't realize it yet. He's actually complaining.
パコさん頑張ったなっていう感じはあるんですけど。
パコ様、パコシンありがとうございますですね。
ただカットインだけ使うんじゃない、カットインを動かしてるするんで。
そうですよ。
そうなんですよ。だから結構ね、サバント作るのにもかなり労力を割いてっていうところはありましたね。あとあれですよね、優雅が。
He's like, please help, I'm dying.
演出時計がね、あれもなんかこう独特の世界観ですごくこうね、なんかインドに来たっていう感じがしましたよね。
どんどんこの後ろの背景が荒廃していく感じとか、これ本当一周回ったらどうなっちゃうのみたいな。 ね考えはありましたねその時。
あれはだからそのバトル以外の部分での演出にかなり力を入れ始めて。
そうですね。綺麗だったもうお花が咲き乱れてたはずなのにっていう。
なんかもう何これみたいなここ本当にいい
Well,
の
to be fair, there was a little bit of introduction, right?
かなりスタッフは疲弊してま
And
し
we
た。
only have LB5 and LB6 left.
新たに書き下ろすものが多いってことですもんね。
I'm sure they won't do both parts of LB5.
Yeah, it's great to hear that there's a lot of new asset that's being added for the development of this hospital as well. And for story, I think there's a lot that we can talk about. There's a lot of different dynamic. So we have Ashwatthama versus Karna.
Yeah.
We have Karna with Arjuna and Arjuna alter, and that whole dynamics right there. You know, with Ganesha, with Jinako's kind of like struggle. Or
No, I think at the longest.
you see
a
this
2-hour.
character through a very different kind of perspective, right? When she first showed up, you're like, I just want to stay in this stone statue. I don't want to do anything. Leave me alone.
Yeah, 5.5
And
and
then you
6.5
find
won't be
that
here.
that perseverance is what ultimately leads to the Chaldea group's victory. But I just want to hear from localization perspective. How do we write about, she has that monologue, that dialogue when she's in there alone. And then there's a lot of the story, between how Arjuna alter talks, now that he's the only absolute being.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about
Yeah, okay, so let's try to go through these point by point. For Jinako's dialogue, as
I
she's...
need Albert to talk less.
We were trying to write the unraveling of a mind. All that time alone,
Cat in Japan.
even for Hikikomori,
Cat go to sleep on desk.
it's a lot. With nothing and nobody, and she's alone for an incomprehensible amount of time. So we wanted to write a dialogue that sort of circles back on itself repeatedly as she's just increasingly losing her mind as she's alone and getting, despairing more and more as it happens. And then, of course, when she finally gets to see Karna and finally sort of gets to break out of her literal shell that she's encasing herself in, is a really great moment. But speaking of Karna, you mentioned Karna and Ashwatthama.
Speaking of Karna,
There's the training
LB5.
scene with them, and I think there's nothing I could have had that would have more sharply underlined the differences between these two characters. Because Karna, he's a very established character in Fate by this point. He's appeared in part 1. He's appeared in other Fate things. He's a character we know very well, and he's sort of stoic. He's quiet. He's proper, soft-spoken.
The VTuber model on? No.
Not that he's very intellectual in his approach to
kinda
things
like
as far
it
as
when
how he
people do
talks.
that stuff.
Not very sophisticated,
It's
but very
just scammy.
proper, very formal. His thing is his generosity.
It's a blanket.
And that contrasts so starkly with Ashwatthama, who is one of the very few characters in FGO that we've written as just outright vulgar and crass, because he's just angry all the time about
absolutely.
everything, and it's all he has to
It
give.
was all Janako and
that scene
Pepe.
where they're training together, you get Karna sort of saying things like, "Oh, you did very well. You're a very strong opponent," and Ashwatthama is like, "Damn it, you're just so irritating." And so Ashwatthama's language is much more aggressive, much more coarse, much less sophisticated, because he sounds more like, we wanted him to sound more like a soldier, because that's his role mythologically. And in a lot of ways, it's the role that he plays
I know this
here.
is a premiere, but can I fast forward?
And Karna is a great foil for that,
Can I just skip
because
to the
he is ice to Ashwatthama's fire. And that takes us to Arjuna Alter,
Which takes
who,
us to
in
LB5.
a lot of ways, his speech patterns really reflect Karna's. They're very similar in the way that they speak, in the way that they conduct themselves, which probably has a lot to do with why they can't stand each other so much. But there is that moment at the end when they finally fight. And there's nothing really, as I was writing, I remember thinking, like, there's really nothing in this story that jumps out at me and screams berserker with with Arjuna Alter, until he starts fighting Karna, and his dialogue starts getting shorter and simpler and angrier, until the only thing he's doing is screaming Karna. And we have, like, his last few lines of this fight are just Karna. So first we have it in lowercase, then we have it with exclamation points, then we have it in all caps. And then one of the things that we'll do is we'll start stretching out letters to suggest that he's screaming at the top of his lungs. So it was fun to write Arjuna Alter finally losing his cool and acting like a berserker because Karna was the thing that could drive him to that.
すごい、そんなたくさんの工夫がされてたんですね。いやでも確かにこのなんかカルナさんの表現を水って表現しても足元も本当燃える炎の感じ。
ホームもそうだしね。
そうですよね。もうすごいもうそのなんだろう解釈がもう素晴らしすぎて本当に安心。そうですね。安心感が安定感と安心感がすごいです。
They said anything relevant? They have said there will be a surprise at the end.
まず
And I suspect it's an actual surprise.
深いからできることだ
But
なっ
as
て
of right
思います
now,
ね。
Thank you.
it is
難しいですよ。
here, chat.
Fate expert.
I got it.
Let's go. All these years, finally. All these years, finally.
Acknowledged. So next we'll go into actually kind of like two chapters going together.
Behold.
So we're going to Lost Spell 5. So both Lost Spell 5 Atlantis and Lost Spell 5 Olympus. So for Atlantis and Olympus, so
Behold
again,
magic.
we'll see what kind of keywords that our guests have
Wrong
for us.
magic.
So Kazumi-san, Tanaka-san, can you share the keywords that you have for Lost Spell number 5?
はい。私はオリンポスの方から
はい
デメテル。
強かった強かったですね。
みんなにトラウマを
Behold better
つけ
magic.
た。
オリンポスといえばみたいなところありますよ
です
ね。
よね
もう何度も負けましたね私も。
There we
神
go.
様が
い
ね。
やーすごいボイスもついて豪華でした
Australian
ね。
cat, yes.
私のキーワードはですね、出会いと別れです。もうとにかくたくさんのサーバントが
出ましたね。
はい出て別れてっていうのがもう
Can we get
これは
someone
すご
to
く
meet her,
印象
please?
に残ってますね。特にこの5章としてこう
Give me
前半と
someone
後
old
半
nature
に分かれていたみたいなところもあるので、特にその気持ちを感じたのかなって思いますし、マイフレンド
そうですね。マイフレンド。
もうやっぱみんな大好き
My friend
マンドリカルド君とのあのお別れが
はい。
ちょっとあまりにも壮絶すぎて、この今までその、この2部のこの戦いがすごく厳しいものだったからこそ、マシュとはまたちょっと違う友達、
初めてのね。
初めてのそのサーバントでこの
Wonder if
自分と
Gio may
同
be
じ
mentioned?
目線で立ってくれるサーバント、つまり友達に出会えたってい
Maybe
う
Charlotte.
そのマイルームでマンドリカルド君と何度もこう選択肢もありながらお話ししていくあの時間が
Assassin
すごい
starting with
私にとって特別な時間で、
Who's
いや
ours?
その時間がすごい幸せだったんですよ。そんなマンドリカルド君が見せてくれる英雄の姿って泣けるんですよね。
すごい
泣けますね。
思い出しただけで泣いちゃうんですけど、
はい
もうそのシーンが大好きです。
いや今回改めて読み直してやっぱりマンドリカルド君のシーンは本当にいいですよね。なんか今まで自分
Well,
なん
that's
か
true, Avalon. That's because they had more time. They're on a
もう
tight
言うだけで
schedule
もう語
here.
るだけで泣いちゃうんですよ
いやでも
ね。
もう彼が人気なのは本当にわかります。
For instance,
今までねや
they've
っぱり
only
こう
allotted
サーバ
themselves
ントってちょっと
20
ね
minutes
王様とか英雄
to talk about how amazing
マン
Best
ドリ
Friend
カルドだって
is.
英雄ですけど、
はい。
でもその中ですごくこう迷いながらいた中ですごく共感ね。
共感してくれて。
もうどんどん泣いちゃうじゃん。
もう川瀬さんの言葉でどんどん思い出してきちゃった。
はい。いやもうあと私あれですよ。
はい
ゴルドルフ好きになりましたよ。これで。
ねえ、彼本当に最初の評価もマイナスぐらいだったと思うんですけれども、
いやーかっこよかったじゃないですか。
よかったねえカイニストの
そうなの。
クロワッサン
クロワッサンが世界を救う。
組んだ。
でもそのなんかこうちょっとフェイトゼロのウェイバー君とギルガメッシュのシーンを思い出したんですけど、なんかそのこう強いものに対してちゃんと礼儀を持ちつつ、でもその自分の立場を話してっていうなんかその何か一つ間違ったら殺されちゃう。でもその中でゴルドルフ
I mean, it's
が
possible, JC,
完
but I
全
don't
に
think
正解
so.
を出して結果をつかみ取るっていうのが。
大好き。 きになりますよね、みんな。
なりますよね。
ゴフのことを、はい、もうクーって悔しいってなりました。
そこから爆上がりですからね。
もうずっと大好きですからみんな。
はい。他になんかない？言い残したことない？
そうですね。でもやっぱりオリオンかな。
Technically, it doesn't screw
オ
with the
リオ
Genesis
ン
arc.
のアルテミスを
It
撃
just
ち
there
落
would
と
be
すシ
units that would be
ーン。
available
もう
prior
だ
to
って
you
アル
being
テ
able
ミ
to
スがあ
roll
んな
them.
姿になってしまって、もうそんなことありかよって、これもまたね、その2部2章でもそうですけど、また違った愛の形を
そう
But I
です
still don't
ね。
think they do.
これでもかと見させてもらったな。
なんかあそこがまたみんながこう自分のできることって言ってなんかちょっと表現あれですけど、まあ犠牲になって積み重ねてオリオンが打つじゃないですか。なんかもう熱い展開ですよね。
熱いですよね。そこが2人なんだっていう、いつもなんかちょっと2人がこう言い合ったりと言いますか、クマさんの形で。
そうですよね。その印象ですよね。
もうギャグがもう彼らたちの見せ場みたいなところはあったんですけど、ここに来てこんなシリアスが来るんだと思って、彼にすごいことをもうグランドアーチャーかっこいいなって思いました。
もう必死でゲットしました。
必死でゲット、そうですよね。彼めっちゃ強くないですか？すごいですよ。
殴るだけで強いね。
いや、本当に
I needed some
クリティカル
caffeine.
の殴りで、もう今でもずっと後
Yeah,
半
it's wild cherry Pepsi.
大活躍してくれてますけど、何か秘話とかありますか？裏話とか。
いや、まあ
You want me to take a swig of the Dr. Pepper as well? Because it's also
ゴリゴリ
here.
のマッチョで、とにかくこう一撃が強いようにっていう風に、
重量感ありますね。
もうそう、それを目指してとにかく作ったっていう感じで、ただその
I think it's really
5
bad.
章全体で言うと、先ほど出たデメテルとかもそうですけど、
I can always
その
dip in
他にもアフロディテとか
はい。
タロスとかゼウスとかもそうですけど、
ゼウスはあれすごかったですね。大きさが
凄まじい。
今までで一番でかいですかね。
ああいうなんて言うんだろうな、ロボっぽさ
You don't have that Pepsi?
全
Really?
体的にこう神がそ
The
の
wild cherry is like the only one I actually will
手
drink.
を押すなんだっけ栗なんだっ
ところがあるっていうのをこうデザインが上がってきた段階で、まあ、そういう感じだったんですけど、そのどれぐらいのでかさなのみたいなところからスタートして、で特にこのギリシャ系のロボっぽいモデル
Pepsi
が
Twist.
どこ
I
まで
remember that,
こ
but
れ
I
ど
don't
う動くの
remember having it. I
結
don't
構
remember
こ
what
のモデ
it
ル
tastes
自体
like.
独特な形してるんで、
す。
They went already go, Cat? That's why I did it, chat. Like,
顔出し。
literally, I am just like
すごかったですね。
degrading
結構
sitting here.
戦いのギミックとかも
So
面
it's
白いなと
like,
思ったんですけ
I'm
ど。
like, I gotta have
あ
some
れもこう
caffeine
提
or
案と
I
して最初から
myself
あった
am
もの
going
だった
to
んで
just
すか？
pass out.
最初からある程度はあるんですけど、具体的にどう動かすのかとかは、まあ、動かしながら決める
とかね。
っていう感じなんで、やっぱりね結構時間はかかっちゃったんですよね、全体的に。
Hello, Katana.
た
How
だ
are
まあ
you?
作ってる間にデメテルがあんなに硬いとかは知らないん
I see.
あれは予想外でしたか。
Hope
で
you had a
僕
good
は知らなかったで
service.
すけど、
超強かった。
ブラックバレルの絵とかもすごいかっこよ
Please,
かった
someone
です。
grab a black barrel
結
for
構印
us.
象的なの多い
そうですすね。
でよね。オリオンのところもマンドリカルドの
いや
ところ
本
も。
当演出的にもすごい、もうなんか
Asking for a friend.
ずっと泣いてるみたいな感じではいやってました。
金時のやつもね。そう
は
だから大きすぎるから全部入んないんで、
はい。
そのここから上だけ
Pepsi
とか
twist in
そう
Italy
い
and
う
Brazil.
ガラスの決め
Interesting.
方もしなきゃいけない。
So what? Like, what's the
戦い
flavor
方
of
も
like
すごい
Pepsi
印象
twist?
に残ってます。何度もやり直しましたね。
いややっぱり結構こうキリシタリアが戦ったりとかも。
もうキリシタリアのフォーグ何回見たことか私は。
そうなんです
キリシ
よ。
タリア
Lemon. Oh, okay.
キリシタリア
キリシタリア
なんなの無敵貫通っていうね。
いやひどい人
Yeah,
いて
most
たん
people
で
that
す
I
けど、
know, they just
もう
like
強すぎて彼が
if you're gonna get lemon in it, you just order the drink and then you just
聞き
order
ました
lemons
ね。
on the side.
フォーグ使うマスターってあり
I
って
can
思
see
います
like
よね。
it's kind of like lemon tea, same thing, right? Where you just like, it's saving me a step.
いやでも
And if
本
I'm
当
on the
彼の
go,
こ
why
とを
not?
知れば知るほどキリシタリア様ってなんでもうここのカイニスとのシーンも鬼泣きました。はい。
And I think from the localization
I didn't realize
perspective,
it was over on there
one
on the
thing
side.
that I think for this one specifically, I remember when I instructed the team, the direction was
Ice
I want
lemon
to make
tea,
sure
yeah.
the point that when people are supposed to cry, they need to cry, because those are kind of the
Actually,
key
a lot you can
moments
solve with math.
that really kind of hit home for each of the characters. That sums up maybe could
Particularly
be
if you
the
have,
grand moment
Made
in
in
the
Halloween
story, whether
and healing command
it's
codes.
whether it's Super Orion shooting down
Bibsy?
Artemis, or
Wait, like
Mandrake
is it actually Pepsi or is it like knockoff
the
Pepsi?
goodbye with
It's named Bibsy. That's funny.
Historia.
We held it together for a really long time there.
And Canis. So, can you talk a little bit more about how we structure each of those things to make sure that people hit that emotional note as they read through the script?
So,
We're fighting
okay,
him
let's start with
nerf, yeah.
Mandricardo then.
Arabic
Mandricardo
does not have the letter
was...
P. Oh, interesting. I never
I
realized.
went into this, so in graduate school, Orlando Furioso, which Mandricardo is
You
one of
want
the... He's actually a
Schweppesy?
villain of that
Listen,
story.
there's also like Dr. Thunder,
Was one of the things that I really enjoyed reading in graduate school.
which is Dr.
So I
Pepper,
was
but
really
ripoff.
surprised to see him as a hero, and it was such an interesting take on
I mean,
him.
I guess you could say Mr. Pibb, but Mr. Pibb's
that
not
really
a
changed
ripoff
how we approach localizing it. So when we got to the moment that you're talking about, where he makes his big sacrifice,
Hated the new flavor, yeah.
that was difficult for a lot of reasons, and one of them is that all of Mandricardo's dialogue up to that point had been very self-deprecating. He was very convinced that he
the
was not
knockoff
a
for
hero, that
Coca-Cola,
he was
like
useless.
anything,
And that was
generic
sort of,
cola.
it was fortunately very good that I had read the original story that he came from, because he loses. And
I've never been a big
I think,
Pepsi guy.
I think that goes a long way into explaining why he's so down on himself and why he feels he doesn't have any value. And so we
Guyaki?
tried to
What's
write his
Guyaki?
dialogue like that, as someone who had no confidence. So he stutters a lot. He uses, we call them stumbling words, like or and those sorts of things work their way into his dialogue a lot. But
I did. I retweeted
in
it.
the
Power.
scene where he finally steps up and does the big heroic thing,
I also responded to
all of that goes out of his dialogue. He starts to talk like a hero, not because he's being a hero. And this is where, as I was writing, the screen started to get a little blurry. Because he's not doing this as a hero. He says, "I'm doing this for my friend," and that's when he gets, Durandal, and he makes his big sacrifice, and it was such a big moment. And I think the biggest thing that we had to make clear was that one line of, "I'm not a hero. I'm doing this for my friend."
is talking about
because
this.
his whole character arc had been about accepting that someone would
very
be
nice.
his friend. The protagonist. And so that was a very difficult scene to write, and we had to make sure that sometimes the best thing we can write is as little as possible. And there is just, we wrote that line, "I'm doing this for my friend," and we stepped back and we said, this will
Yep, Shikira's
this will
always
convey
good.
what we want to convey. But it was very hard because we all in the office feel very strongly about Mandricardo.
Still talking about Mandricardo?
And we love him
Yes.
very
Why
much.
I'm ignoring
because
them.
he deserves it and he needs all the friends he can get.
I like
So yeah,
Mandricardo
that
as much
was
as the next
that was
guy.
one of the more interesting scenes to
But
write.
this
And
shit's
then,
ridiculous.
very close to that chronologically, you have Artemis and Orion. And Orion has been such a goofball for all of the time that we've known him. We meet him as a bear, and then you meet him as a person, you're like, he's really buff, but the rest of it kind of figures. He doesn't talk very differently. He doesn't act very differently. He's just without Artemis following him around all the time.
Yeah, I feel like
And
they
then we have that
purposefully
moment,
tethered Road to 7 to
where
this
he does what he
in order
promised
to,
to do,
hold us hostage.
but has been avoiding the entire time you've been in the Lost Zone.
I'm going to give them
And
crap for this.
it's
Should not
difficult
be
when
on
all
Christmas
you
Eve.
have is text and still images
Remember
to
chat.
convey how much he didn't want to do that.
They're expecting
much
you to
he'd
watch
been
this
trying to
over
get away
spending
from it.
time with your family.
So we tried
Like I
to make
said,
sure that all of his
if I were
language was very
sick,
reluctant.
I would probably also
firm.
not be here.
And that he was resolved but sad. And juggling multiple emotions in very short lines of dialogue can be difficult. So that was a bit of a longer scene that had more dialogue in it to
That doesn't work,
convey
Evan.
the kind of more complex emotions going on there.
Cad blinked
And
twice
it
for
was a
being
very
forced
difficult
to
scene
watch
to write
this.
because, as Albert said, we needed to hit these notes. We knew these were big moments in the game, and we had to hit them exactly right
At least
so
it's
that
not
people
4 a.m.
cried when they were supposed to cry.
Look,
And then I think circling
if
back to
they
what we were
do,
talking about earlier regarding
hey, we're
the choices of
covering the
Japanese and
JP anniversary again,
English.
chat.
So toward
Do not
the-
watch it.
a
Do
little
not fall
spoiler
for it. They
everybody
can
who
go fuck
has not get to this part, which is why.
Watch the actual JP
So,
anniversary. Watch
the
Trubs
part when
translate it.
he's shooting
Don't
down
watch
Artemis,
the NA stream. Fucking
Japanese use the word otosu, but Orion being the poi boy that he is, the otosu has many different layers of meaning. Of course, it means physically shooting Artemis down, but it also means that
Like, it's one thing if you're
falling
naturally
in
up
love
at that time.
with Artemis.
It's another
He
thing when
makes
you're like, oh yeah,
Artemis
it's 4
fall in
a.m.
love
It's
with
like,
him.
no,
That
fuck
otos,
that.
as the kind of the playboy aspect of Orion.
Yeah, Trubs is just
So
a far superior
we had to go through that
like,
script a couple
stream
times,
to anything NA would do.
Because the one-to-one translation originally was just
Yeah, we went with I'm gonna make you fall for me
yeah,
again.
yeah. So we originally was one-to-one would be I'm going to shoot you down, but that kind of lose that
I don't want to miss the surprise.
that
Same.
flavor of the
they're still on
love.
LB5,
So,
so-
like what Michael was talking about is we ultimately went with
We'll
I'm
see if
going
they do
to make you
5.2
fall
if this
for
is
me.
just all 5.
So that has the meaning of I'm going to physically fall down from
It's
the
currently
sky,
3 a.m.
and also fall
Jesus.
for me as
My
the
condolences to you,
love
Abby.
that is there.
I didn't realize you
can
watched me that
only
late.
fall in love with me. I'm the only one that
Oh,
can
yeah,
make you
the-
fall
the
in love
actual
with me.
studio
And
is
that
really good.
fall is kind of the play on words that we
It
use
is, and I
here.
mean, and it ties right into the title
Yeah.
of the chapter, "The Day to Bring Down Gods."
Yeah.
もうダメだ泣いてるもうダメだ
The localization process actually, you know, we
I
have
feel like they
multiple
cut right
phase,
there.
multiple steps, and a lot of times from the context alone, a lot of people would think it's just shoot. So, but we have to look at Orion of the Orion that we know all the way from part 1, the little teddy bear that's just gotta hit on every single
Yeah, I mean, she was
woman that
actually
he
right.
sees, to the complex relationship that he has with Artemis. And we had a lot of discussion regarding that is a key moment. If anything, that is the most important moment for Atlantis.
Yeah, certainly.
And for this character, for their relationship together as a whole. So we want to make sure that is there, that dynamic is there, and that the best word of choice that we can use for that. So I'm glad that we hit the emotional note here.
いや
いやそれは
Also, I'm sorry that we hit those notes.
なんかより深くなっちゃう
しかも確かなんかこう落とすっていう字も違ったりするじゃないですか。
Anthers are lightning.
楽っていうの
I'm
が
closer to the
そうです
lightning.
よね
だからそういう本当に
But I
な
hope
んか
they
日
both
本
win
語
because
な
I
ら
find
で
it
はの
hilarious if a team
ま
from
あそれこ
Florida
そそ
wins.
のなんか那須さんだと空の教会とかだと見るっていう字
Place with no
が
ice wins
違うとかそういうのもあったりしてそういうこうなんかならではの那須さん節とかフェイトとかタイプムーン節みたいのをそうやってなんかすごくこういろ
Nasuism?
いろ
Type moonism?
言語の中で考えてやってくださってるっていうのがね
このそれぞれの良さが際立っていて
すごいね
泣ける
They both won recently. Stop being
こん
greedy.
なにも
No.
深く理解していただいて
素晴らしい
もう北米版のマスターの皆さんたちも幸せですね
いやなんか北米版をなんか頑張って勉強しながらやりたくなる
いやわかります
ありがとうございます。Thank you.
なんかこういう風に
Yeah,
変
I
わ
mean,
ってるんだ
this
こういう
may
風
be-
に訳されてるんだってすごく面白い
This may be like pre-set up, but I don't think so
Yeah.
because it's still prior to Anime NYC. So this is probably in their actual single
Especially,
studio.
I mean, there's a lot that we can talk about, but I would like to move on to the next
It's just like
segment.
Chat said,
Oh
they
boy.
probably changed some stuff.
And so, okay, so we will go into the review of the latest Lost Spell that we have so far. It's the most closest and also the largest
skipped 5.2,
scenario.
let's
So
go.
we are finally at Lost Spell number 6, Avalon Lafay. So,
No, this is the final, yeah.
Tell us the keywords that you have chosen for this Lost Spell.
はい私のキーワードは予言の子です
私のキーワードは大長編
Of course you would say
間違いない
Chelsea.
間違いない。
もうぜひ川澄さんに語っていただきたいです
本当にね 結構いっぱい語らせてもらったんですけど、まあ
Yeah, they already skipped 5.5. So you're getting drum
いっ
skip.
ぱい話したいと思うんですけど、
ネタバレありで。
いややっぱり今回もう一度読み直して、
Then you got Jason's sacrifice too, which is hilarious considering he's one of the images.
やっぱり一つ選ぶんなら、まあタイトルにもなって
To
る
be fair, there's only so much they can talk
第
about.
28節
Like
星
without
の
it
生まれ
just
る
going forever.
時になっちゃうと思うんですけど、
Yeah, this means we
私もな
probably
るかも
finish
しれない
before 11.
本当に
Let's go.
最初からもう泣きそう。
私も最初からそうですよね。
最初から最後までもうアバロンに降りていって冬秋
The latest chapter in
そうなんです
has. Yeah, when did we get from?
でそこが本当にもう本当になんていうひどいものを書くんであって、これ褒め言葉ですよ。那須さんで那須さんに私プレイしながらしょっちゅう今ここまで進みましたとか
That's interesting.
こういう感想ですとか
I
書
mean,
い
he said
て
it's
るん
summer
ですけ
there.
ど、もう泣いてしまって進
Well, I
みませ
predicted it's
ん
like
って送ったら
It's pre-anime
28節
NYC.
だねって来たんですよ。もうそれぐらいなんかも
So
う
June?
アバロンの表現、ここがアバロンだっていうのもまず一つありましたし、
They said
その
August? Well, wait.
記憶が
August is not
ひどいん
pre-anime
ですよ。
NYC.
で本当にどんだけ予言の子が大変でいろいろ
That
頑
must mean they're
張
actually
って
there
きて、
for
絶対
JP
にこんなの
anniversary.
もう妖精のために頑張れるはずじゃないっていうところで、でもたった一つの
Which means this
光
might
の
not
た
be
め
in
に
their studios.
星のためにっていうその理由が何度見ても泣いちゃうんですよね。はい、なんかたった一つ裏切れないもの
God,
の
they're
ため
both
に
crying. Holy
人は
shit.
ここまで頑張れるんだっていう、なんか本当に那須さんのお話でアルトリアペンドラゴンっていう存在って
That's right, you say
ものすごく
Arcueid.
国のためブリテンのためにっていうもう最初から出来上がった存在じゃないですか、強い心で。でもキャストリアはそれと全く逆ですよね。ずっと弱音を吐いてずっと妖精が嫌いで、だけど最終的にやっぱり選ぶのが
Based fairy
自
hater.
分の使命なんだっていうのの28節に全て入っていって、で最後聖杯を作って、で村正さんがアルトリアが消えるはずのところを助けてくれるじゃないですか。
本当ですよね。
はい、それがやっぱりフェイトステイナイトとも重なってっていうので、なんか那須さん的にはアルトリアの一つの答えとしてこの6章を書いてくれたっていうことを言っていて、でそれこそフェイトステイナイトは20周年なんですけど、ここまで長くやってきて新たにアルトリアをまた見ることができたプラスアルトリアペンドラゴンっていう存在のなんか大きさも感じることができたっていう、なんか自分にとって特別すぎて、そうですね、10時間ぐらいもらわないとダメかもしれないんですけど。
No, I'm sure you get attached to a character if you're like VAing it for a long time.
そうですね。
Especially as long as some of them have.
本当にフェイトステイナイトから私も大好きだったので、なんかそこに対する
Like that's
答え
rare
みたい
even
な、
in
なんかやっ
Japanese
ぱカズルさん
VA
はもうずっと
industry.
演じられているから、よりアルトリアのことを考えると泣けるんだろうなって思うんですけど、見てるファン側の目線としてもこんなにも深く描いてくれて、しかもこの使命にやっぱアルトリアってやっぱこうなるんだっていうのが自分の中でも分かった瞬間に
Peaceful Day
涙が止ま
49.
らなくって、でそこでやっぱ助けてくれる村正
Appreciate it.
と
Merry
か
Christmas to you too.
メロンとか、
はい
なんかそこに立ち会えてよかったなってはいすごく思いました。
Yep,
こんなにも
spend down your AP.
大長編で、しかも年表まで
そう
ある。
なんですよ。で、なんかアンジェラさんに聞きたいのは、やっぱり今回全く別の世界じゃないですか。一つのその妖精国の歴史っていうものがあって、で氏族によって文化とかその氏族が違いますし、そのフォルムも違いますし、騎馬の氏族とか、だからそういうものの一つ一つの街並みとかの こう一つのなんか歴史というか世界を
Just
作
be
り上げ
careful.
るに
Use up your AP ahead of
で
time
今回は今までと全
Make
然
blue
違
apples
う
or
作業だったん
something.
じゃないかなって
because
思うんですけど。
LB7 was really buggy.
そうですね、もう単純にもう他のショーと比べると
And there's
実量
hints
が
that we
全然
might be getting
違った
something
そうで
irregular.
すよね。
すごい量ですよね
そう
原稿が。
それでまあやっぱりスタッフ的にも総力戦みたいな感じには
Did you get nickname your units? Yeah, I would nickname all of mine
た
Artoria.
だ日本でのリリース時期を思い出してほしいんですけど、ちょうどね夏
はい。
頃だ
でした
そうそうで、
Yeah,
それは
4 hours
分かってると思うんですけど、夏のイベント水着とかもあってリリースするキャラクターも多いんで、例年かなり大変な時期ではあっ
This
た
man
んで
about to talk about Summer
でそ
Castoria.
こにこのかつてない物量の6章がかぶってるっていう状態だったん
Okay,
で、本当にちょっとすごいことになってて現場は当時、
はい。
でまあ実際ある程度分割になってリリースっていう
So
形
this
に
is
はなったん
something
で
we
すけ
kind
ど
of heard about, but never
水
really
着が
completely
遅れちゃ
knew.
うのはあったとしても、少なくともこの6章で那須さんがやりたいと思ってることを可能な限り 100% 出したいと、その
Isn't that
ちょ
the
っと
year
こ
that
こ
we
諦
got
めましょ
summer
うみ
in
たい
like
なのはな
September?
くしてちょっとどれだけ時間かかってもなるべく満足いく形で出したいんですよねっていうのをずっ
No,
と
I think
言
I'm
い
thinking
続
of
け
Summer
て
5.
で、まあ、結局こう分割したりリリースとかにはなったんですけど、まあいい感じに
いやでも分割も良かったですよね。
よかったです。
そこでちょっと待てなんだとは思いましたけど
戴冠式とかもうドキドキが止まらないみたいな感じでもうくるくるくるって感じでしたね。
はい。
一緒にこうストーリーと同じ感じでこう待ってる自分たちみたいなところがあって、
バトルキャラも多かったですけど、やっぱり NPC もねすごい多かったんで、
妖精たちもそうですしね。
はい。オーロラさんとかね。
ムリアンとか。
ムリアンとか。
Summer was in September that year? Okay.
頭オーロラか。いやあとケルヌーノス。やっぱりまた来ましたね、大きさ更新みたいな感じはありましたよね。
あれがだから中央にいてこうぐるーっと回ってるみたいな感じだったん
Yes,
で、
fluffy rotate.
サイズ感もそうだしカメラをどれだけ引くのかと
そうですよ
か
ね。
ちょっとずつ回すんで、やっぱりケルネノス自体こうフルモデルで作らないとダメなんですよ。その要するに裏とかも全部見えるんで、そういう形で作らなきゃいけない。あとステージ自体もこう奥行きのあるステージにしなきゃいけないしっていうんで、
Yep.
あれはねもう通常のボス戦と比べても倍以上時間かけて、
そうですか。
作りました。
I bet it didn't take
フ
twice
ィ
as
ー
long
ル
as
ドが
something in
ブラッ
LB7.
クドッグで焼かれてる感じとかもやっぱりちょっとね、今回はそういう特別な演出は多かったですよね。6章。
そうですね。本当に多かったですね。なんかこれいつ終わるんだろうって思いながらやってる感じはありましたけど、そうそうでもまあやっただけの価値のあるものにできてるっていうのが
There's nothing spoilery here.
やっぱり嬉し
I
い
mean, like, other than
やっぱりなんか
LB6.
6章好きって言ってくださる方も多くて嬉しいですよね。
忘れられない胸に刻まれたショーです。
ちゃんとモブのマイクとか、
あとほら3人の
妖精たちマシュと一緒にいてくれた。
ワグ、ロブ、
そう
ウィンキー。
もう何ですか、泣くシーンありすぎじゃないですか。
ありすぎですね。だってあれまだ思い返してみればまだめちゃくちゃ前半ですもんね。
前半ですあれ。
思い返してみれば。
全然なんかボガード教とか
はい。
スプリガンとかも人気あるし、
あります
None of
ね。
the Bogart was
ペペさん
received
と
well.
かクリプター側も大変でしたしね。
ですし、その妖精騎士のね。そうモルガンもね、
モルガン、
トネリコもね。
トネリコ、
どうしよう、止まりませんね。
収まりません。
So I think, like it's one of the key words. There's a lot that I think we can talk about for Lost Bill number 6, but at its center,
Is
I
this
think
it?
today let's pick a few to talk about.
No.
So of course, Altria Caster being one of the
No.
most, one of the
slap
center
Albert.
figure of this entire story. This is her journey. and we have witnessed her answer to her journey at Avalon, and I think that's it's a
They
very
say Tonalico.
different feeling.
They
Of course, we're
translate
seeing
it
a
as
different
Ace.
Altria for the first time.
Really, I think it's supposed
Rather
to be
than
Ace.
different Altria for the first time, a different feeling of Altria for the first time. And of course, we have Morgan and Oberon, which at the beginning we're like, huh? To the end we're like, whoa. And these three, their
General
story
League of the
and all the
64.
characters, actually there are a lot
Merry
of
Christmas.
like what everybody talk about.
It's pronounced Ash.
There are a lot
yeah.
of memorable characters, but
Like our
kind of all
Ashu, but
centered
without the
around
U,
these three and their
without the
dynamics. So
spelling part.
I think let's focus on these three.
Okay,
or
yeah,
else
let's. Wow, that,
it
okay.
will turn into a 10-hour conversation.
It would.
So
すいません。
I think the
Okay.
journey of Altria caster.
Yeah.
I think like what Oberon said, the storybook, the fairy tale that is on Morgan, and Oberon.
Okay. All right. So we're really laser focusing in.
Oh,
All right,
laser
let's
focusing,
go.
yeah.
Okay. So let's start with Altria. This was so. I obviously I don't need to tell you that this is a very different version of Altria than we've seen before, but you know we've seen a younger Altria before in Altria Lily years and years ago. But the first thing that we get about this Altria, and I don't think it becomes obvious to us right away, is she's more energetic and she's funnier, but it's hiding something. And we don't really know what until much later. And so, of course, we knew that going in. And one of the things that we were trying to do, specifically with Altria's dialogue, is that we wanted to make sure that her humor, that it landed right, that it was funny, but also that it was clear that it was coming from a place of insecurity. That this is a version of Altria who's running away from the hero's call. That she doesn't believe she can do it, and that she's hiding that with humor. So a lot of her humor, there's always like a little extra edge to it that cuts back against Altria with a lot of her jokes. They go from
Kosumi's
self-deprecating
laughter is
humor,
adorable.
just sort of lightly joking about herself, to like really insulting herself a few times. But it's always one of those like blink and you'll miss it things. And a lot of the characters do miss it. People often don't realize how insecure Altria is during that Lost Belt. And it takes another of our characters that you mentioned, Oberon, to point that out to us, that
I noticed
Altria
it.
is hiding something from us. She's hiding her fears, she's hiding her insecurities. She wasn't in that forest by accident. She was in there to forget herself. So we wanted to make sure that we were
Arturia.
writing her in a way that started with her being, you know, funny and goofy and young and energetic. And as you got to know her more, we started including more of the self-deprecating humor, and then it became more cutting, more really critical of herself. And then you start to see, particularly when Babanshi enters, you start to really see the lack of confidence in Altria. And that's where we start to really write her as having no belief in herself. And her dialogue starts to become a lot more focused on negativity towards herself. And then, of course, you mentioned the moment the planet is born, where she finally decides that now she's going to answer the hero's call. And Albert, I don't
That'd be
think you and I
great.
have ever worked so closely on a single moment in FGO as we did on that. And this was during the pandemic. So we were going back and forth on Slack, trading the lines back and forth for just a couple of days. Just on this
That means
one
they use
scene.
Slack.
Trying
Which
to
means
make
it can
sure
be
that we
hacked.
got every line exactly right to the moment where Muramasa surprises us and steps in. And we wanted to make sure that
Means somebody
we
can go in there.
portrayed Altria's commitment to that moment.
They
her
can find the
willingness to
final
sacrifice
code.
herself
And they can do a
for
simple
the
name
world, but
replacement.
also for the friends that she'd made on her journey. That she finally, you know, as you said, she hates the Fae, and you know, we could spend a lot of time talking about what they did to deserve that. But to the point, she also starts to find people that she values and wants to protect, and finally finds something worth giving
Replace
up
all,
her life for. And so that was a very powerful moment, and we needed to make sure that it was exactly right. So we needed to transition her from sounding like Caster Altria to sounding like Altria Pendragon. And so that was the moment where we really wanted to make sure that she was sounding like the more familiar, heroic
Don't say it.
version that we know. And Morgan is an excellent foil for that because it's the choice Morgan couldn't make. And we see with MASH, we get to see Morgan's journey from being Ash to being Morgan.
Yeah.
And we see both the barrel servant Morgan, who's, I mean, I remember reading that and being stunned at the commitment of sending herself back in time at the expense of her own life to
I've seen
give a
people
different
claim
her a
Morgan
better
did
chance
nothing
at doing
wrong,
what she
and
wants
I
to do.
laugh.
So we needed to make sure that Morgan's lines just portrayed iron willpower. She was always certain of everything she said. There was never any confusion, there was never any doubt, there was never any insecurity. She was the anti-Altria, which of course fits because she's Morgan Le Fay. But we also wanted to be sure, because there's that moment at the end when she dies, and this is where it really got to me. When we hear what her wish for
it's
Fairy
technically
Britain
Ash.
was, that she wanted it to
I just
be
say
a
Ace
world we
because
could come see,
lazy.
and asks us, is it beautiful? And that was another one of those moments where we just had to let the short line speak for itself, because if we
Plus, if you
built
say
it out
Ash,
into
people think
more,
you're
it
talking
would have
about
taken
Ash
away
Fataman.
from just that one simple, beautiful sentiment that she had, that she wanted to create something beautiful. So it gave us a villain that we really sympathized with at the end.
Was it described as a
and
yap stream?
On the subject of villains at the end, Oberon, which was another character who Albert was very present on, just because Albert is such a huge fan. so Albert was always going, what did you write for that line of dialogue from Oberon? So Midsummer Night's Dream is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. I saw
not
it
according to
at
what I
Shakespeare's
see.
Globe in London. It was the subject that I wrote on for my
Just a
entrance in
pre-release
graduate
special
school.
featuring
So when
Kawasumi,
Oberon is
Tanaka,
revealed
and
as a major character in
Makoto
this,
Anjo.
I was all in, and I was so excited to be able to write this character. And there's that moment towards the end of the story, where for the entire story, Oberon has built himself up as this sort of affable, reliable friend you can confide in, except for those dialogue choices that you can pick that he doesn't like so much, that show a very different side of him if you do that. But at the end, when he reveals the truth of who he is, in as much as we can ever associate truth with Oberon, one of the things he starts talking about is that he hates the way stories are treated as sort of fleeting figments that are discarded when they're over. Which was really interesting because those are the final lines of Midsummer Night's Dream from Puck. He actually says, if this has offended you, it was just a figment, just forget about it. So in Midsummer Night's Dream, Oberon is actually kind of a monster. So seeing him portrayed that way here and seeing him taking issue with just brush off the fiction if it bothers you was fascinating. So I wanted to make sure, particularly in that moment, that the language we use in English echoed the language in the play Midsummer Night's Dream to identify Oberon with the character from the play, but also with this sentiment that the lives of fictional characters are as real to him as everyone else in the Lost Belt is to all the other characters. So we wanted his hatred to feel earned, not just like a villain who is creating chaos for chaos' sake, but like all of the other villains in Lost Belt 6, we understand what drove them to these terrible things that we do. And at that moment, we see what drove Oberon. That he's just this piece of fiction that was set aside. So we wanted that to be a moment where you really felt for him and you felt his anger. And so that was something that we focused on, and I worked really hard on to make sure that I had exactly the language that we wanted there to depict this very angry but very wounded character. And he was just, every character in Lost Belt 6 was a joy to write. As you said, it could go on for 10 hours, but Oberon really stood out. And as we went in, I didn't know as much about the story, and Albert is just talking about Oberon this, Oberon that. I love this character.
Let me tell you about Lost Belt number 6.
And I was going, leave me alone about Oberon. Just let me write, man.
I think this is also a chapter that took us the longest.
Oh, by far.
I think this took us like a year or more.
Yes.
To really prepare. So once I know the story from the Japanese server, I immediately go to everybody. We need years on this. So we start working on it, and I think we don't have enough time. to go
Even-
through
even
even
then,
even right now what we talk about. I think we just really scratch the surface of what they really are, especially with Oberon. That there's also another
It's where you get to talk about
another
your
element
dissertations
of
and
Oberon
really use,
being
yeah.
he's the ultimate demise for this
Yeah.
fake Burning Isle. So
It's just Albert being
as
a bad
much
MC.
as I want to talk more,
Oh, me too.
I think we have to wrap it up right here. So, but we hope everybody got a glimpse to the localization process. You know how the voice actors are feeling as they go through the stories with us as well. For someone who has been part of the story with us for so long, you know, with both Kasumi-san and Tanaka-san voicing a lot of the characters in Lost Bells. So I think it's
We
great
know
to see that
Oberon
glimpse
caused
with
a
the Anjo-san,
change.
Anjo-san working
I don't know about the whole
on
three
building
times
all
that
these
it
characters, building all these models with all these assets that we've seen. So I hope everybody enjoy, and I hope everybody liked that, being able to see kind of glimpse into a little bit behind the scene. So, but to wrap up this segment, we actually have a special voice comment video that we received from the guests. So we were actually at FGFS and we recorded this special message that we want to show here. So let's take a look.
ハローマスターズ、マシキレイライトの声を担当させていただいております高橋理恵です。
ハローマスターズ、クリプターベリルガットを演じております石谷春樹です。
Hello, masters. Hello, everyone.
Why didn't I talk about it?
英語は
I did.
喋れません。オベロンを演じさせていただいております豊永俊之です。
よろしくお願いします。はい、皆様ですね、ロードトゥーセブン総括番組、フェイトグランドオーダーロストベルトナンバー7プレリリーススペシャル、楽しんでおりますでしょうか？
楽しんでますか？
はい、私たちね、コメントビデオという形ですけれども、皆さんにこうしてお会いできておしゃべりすることができてとても嬉しく思います。
はい、まあね、我々ね我々半袖は着ていませんけども、
はい。
いやそう
全員長袖なんですけ
はいそう
ど、
なんですよ
実はですね、
はい
これ我々今このコメントビデオ撮影してるの夏なんですよ。
夏なんですよ。
はい、
ええ
でこの番組が公開されるのは冬だということを伺っているんでね、皆さんちょっとねタイムラグがあるかなっていう想定だったようなんですけれども、全員長袖でございます。
バッチリバッチリ。
何の違和感もなく見れると思います。
素晴らしい、
はい
寒いですね。
ね、寒いですね。
ということでね、今回はロードトゥーセブンの総括ということでお伺いしておりますので、
はい
この3人でもいろいろ話していければと思っておりますが、
なるほど
まずは
ん
好きなメインストーリーのショーに関して
お
お話ししていこうと思っておりますが、豊中さんどうですか？
まあ私はやっぱ何といっても2部6章
あ
ですかね。オベロン登場章
あ、はい。
ですかね。まあ一番最初ね、すごい王子様みたいな
あ、まあ確かに。
感じ
Who's the
で
prince?
来て。ね、あすごい王子様なんだと思ってすごいキラキラした気持ちで望もうとしてたら、裏切りますって言われちゃう。
うわ、資料ってどんな感じだったんですか？
確かに。
ですね、資料はなんかすごいそのストーリーの歴史みたいなものを
あー、年表みたいな感じで。
ザーって
そっか、6章の年表ってことです
そう、
ね。
はい
いただいていたので、ぶっちゃけた話全部読む前に収録日が来ました。
すごい量ですね。わかります。私も6章の資料いただいたことあるんですけど、
そう
恐ろしい量ですよね。
あれはね、いやこれ読み切れねえ、間に合わねえ。
どこまでめくっても終わらなかったですもんね。
そうだったんで、まあただまあね、そのやっぱ分かんないところは現場でも聞こうと思って望ませていただいて、で
That's
現場に入って那須きのこさんに
Megumin
まあどういう感じなんでしょうねっていう話を聞いて、こういう子ですこういう子ですって聞けば聞くほど分からなくなっていくというキャラクターだったので、
確かに
まあなんでそのなんでしょうね、そのいわゆる正解っていうものをまあ我々は提示しなければいけない立場なんですが、でもなんかその正解は一つの正解で、正解って一つじゃないよっていうことも僕はオベロン演じててなんか教えてもらったというか
Bro,
なところがあったんで、なんか分からないとこ
I
ろ
don't
は
mind
分から
hearing
ない
from the VAs,
で
but
いけば
like,
ユーザーの皆様に委ねられるんだっていうところも結構感じながら演じさせていただいてたので、
Neo Knight,
そういう
11,
なんか
appreciate
心
it,
境にな
man.
ってからは割と
Merry Christmas.
こうスムーズというか楽に収録できました。 ましたね。
あ
FGO ってちょっとそういうところあるっていう個人的に思っちゃうんですけど、
そうなんだ。
そうシナリオの本編って私たちの声がついてるわけではないじゃないですか。
そうね。
例えばマイページのボイスといいますか、
うん
マイルームのボイスだったりとか、あと私だったらマスターミッションとかやらせてもらってるんですけど、そういうタイミングで声は当てど本編で彼女たちがどういう選択をしていくのかっていうのはプレイしてみてマジかはめっちゃあって、
そうね、
うん
確かにね。
それを出すタイミングもバ
I
ッチリ
just
なんです
I
よ
want to
ね。
know what the surprise is.
ここぞという時にしっかり出してくるのがさすがだなっていうのは感じますね。
なってなってまた新しいことを知ってそれもちょっと声に乗せられたらいいなっていうのも入れつつではあるんですけど、余白っていうところはしっかりまだいっぱいあるというか、だからこそキャラが成長するなと思うので、なんかその考え方は私も分かると思っちゃいました。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
光栄でございます。
はい、じゃあちょっと石屋さんもなんかね
皆さんも
思い出とかありましたら。
僕もやっぱり6章なんですよね。なんかやっぱ演じているシナリオを読んでいくうちに歴史が積み上がっていくじゃないですか。それが崩れていく瞬間をなんか生まれるところとなくなっていくところとさらに生まれるところがこう出てくるのがもうタイトル通り生まれる時だなっていうのはすごく感じていて、
確かにこのサブタイトルっていうのもやっぱりその
I think there
皆
is.
さんにとってもエモいタイトルになってるんですよ
This
ね。
segment
日本語版のエモ
was
さ
fine on its
と
own.
またそちらでもきっと
But
エ
the
モく
fact that
感
this
じられ
came
る。
after an
生まれる
hour and a
時を
half
感じてくれてるんです
segment
よね。
of
どういうこう
people flapping their
単語のチョイス
gums.
というか、
確かに
ローカライズに関してね、のところっていうの気になります
こだわってますよ。
いやー、だと思いますよ。
間違いないですよ。
そこは。
いやー、すごいな。
やっぱり歴史を感じて、しかもその世界観の中で一つの物語がしっかりこう動いていくっていうのは本当に6章の一番なんか見どころなんじゃないかなっていうのは思ってますね。
いいことですね。
レイちゃんも6章ですか？
私はやっぱり6章になっちゃうんですよね。
いやそうよね。
結構やっぱりその6章の構成も面白いですし、でもいろいろ思い出したなんか消えてゆくものとか結構好きで、なんかまあそんなの退去するサーバント全員に言えちゃうんですけど、
まあそうね。
なんかそこにあったものがずっと前からそうだったとかそういうなんか長い時をかけて長年の思いを果たす系に弱い。っていうのがいろんな章でもそこにずっといたんだねみたいなやつとか、
その瞬間のためにってやつね。
そう、この
I also don't like that they have a full like pamphlet in
どれだ
front
け
of
の
them.
思いがっていうのはもう全章を通して言えちゃうことではあるんですけれど、そう苦しいですね。
確かにね。
はい、ちょっと興奮しちゃいましたけれども、
足りないね。
はい、なんかねちょっと話題にも出ましたけど、ボイス収録とかやっぱり印象に残っていることとかって他にもあったりしますでしょうか？
そうですね。僕はですね、一番最初ベリルのボイスを
This goes after 11. I'm gonna give it
結
crap.
構その微調整というか、なんかいくつかセリフがあってここのセリフの微調整っていう感じのところでなんか全体の雰囲気を最初教えてもらってでもう一回撮りましょうかになって微調整していく中ですごく的確に那須さんの中に答えがあるんだなって
Like we're probably
いう
getting
のを
something
感じ
early.
て
My money's currently on Nito Alter, but maybe we do get some quality of life.
あらここみたい
ここ
な。
そこってなったの
Here
が
to my
やっぱ
dailies?
りすごく
Good
自分
idea.
の中では気持ちよかったですし、ここでつかめたっていうのがすごく感じられた瞬間ではありましたね。
なるほどね。
Pen swap would be.
俺ん時なかったな。
おベロまた特殊なところもありますからね。
那須さんも手探りだったんだと思いますけどね。オベロンのキャラクターについては、
収録終わった後に那須さんから豊永さんはどうしてオベロンができるんですかって言われたんですよ。
すごい。
それはあなたが知ってなきゃいけないでしょうと思ったんですけ
Yo,
ど。
what's worrying me is it's 10:40.
そうですそうです。
We're now in the second segment.
でまあなんか多分だからその那須さんの中のイ
And
メ
they
ージで
so far have
結構そ
not
の
fulfilled the
含み
actual
があった
purpose of the
りとか 裏
which
表
was
だったりとか
prelude to
なんか
LB7.
そういうのが僕なら
So, like, they
演じてくれるだろうと思って
haven't teased anything LB7 yet?
言ってくださったのかなと思いつつも、でも那須さんの中に答えないと僕困りますみたいな状態にはなってたんですけど、
なんか一緒に作っていかれたような感じではあるんですか？
そうかもしれないですね。でやっぱりその収録の続きというか、また別日に収録する時もやっぱ那須さんがその僕の演じたオベロンからまたこうインスパイアされてこういう展開が生まれたみたいなこともあったようなので、
I don't think it's Start Dash.
確かにこうリアルタイムで聞いた上で今のも良かったけど
こっちはどうみたいな。
Yeah, that's why I was
あります
saying
あり
need
ま
to
す
alter.
ありますし、オベロに関しては今のベクトルじゃない真逆の気持ちでやってくださいと。
逆いっちゃいますか。
そうなんか真逆にしてくださいって言われて、真逆と
なかなかねちょっとずらしてみるはあるかもだけど。
そうなんですよ。だからガラッと変えて演じるみたいなこと結構あったんで、まあなんでオベロンは僕にしか演じられないかなって思いますね。
やっぱりね、そう思いますよ。
そうですね。
私たちも誰も否定できないもん。これはさすがに自分で言って自分で恥ずかしくなってください。
Well, it's weird as they can always edit it down, right?
笑ってください。お願いします。はい。はい。
I'm not
私なんかはですね、
ど
結構マスターミッションが毎月更新だったりしまして、
あそうですね
結構な頻度で定期的にこう通わせていただいてるんですけど、
うんJanuary
本当に
will be
こう
dead.
私がまだデビューして数年目ぐらいの頃からお世話になり始めたのもありまして、こういった方がもうちょっとここの滑舌綺麗に届くよとかって技術的な話とかもちょこちょこ音響さんに指示していただいて、なので私の成長を一緒に見守ってもらってるっていう感じは
成長物語なんだわ。
あります。はい。なのでマスターミッション結構聞けるんですよ。
We're probably gonna get part 2 like a week or
私
two
の芝
early.
居遍歴がこう
なるほどね
詰まってるからちょっと恥ずかしいところではあるんですけど。
Maybe two
で
if
も
they
なん
move
か
the
それこ
needle
そ
better.
一緒に成長してきたみたいな感じになるね。じゃあ
そういう気持ちに
は。
はやっぱりなりますし、どんどん自分も表現の幅を広げてマッシュの感情がたくさん増えていくタイミングでもついていけたらいいなっていう気持ちはありますね。
なるほど。
はい、そんなところでございます。
ねそれぞれいろんな収録形態がありますね。
ですね。
はい。
ちなみになんですけど、話は変わっちゃうんですけれども、
はいはい
お二人はアメリカに行かれたことはありますか？
ありま
Wasn't
す。
he just
あり
in
ますあ
America?
るんですね。
はい
というのもこの FGO 英語版はアメリカでも配信されておりまして、アニメコンベンションなどにもよく出展されておりまして、
なるほど。
はい、アメリカだと僕アニメ NYC というところに行かせていただいたんですけれど
はいはいはい
も、エピソードがあればちょっとお聞きしたいなと
おう。
思いまして、
石尾君どうだったんですか。
僕はですね初めてのニューヨークというか
おう
海外だったんですよ。
おーいいですね
そのためにパスポートを取って
あ
行ってそのイベントの方に、参加させていただいたんですけど、
ら。いいじゃない。
熱量がやっぱりすごいなって思って、なんか自分の好きを全力で表現している、そう他の人は関係ない自分がちゃんと好きなものだから、
Going
その
till
格好
9,
にな
isn't
って
it, or
歩い
11?
ているし
Yeah.
その好きな人と
At
交
least.
流をしているしっていう本当にいいなんか熱量の中でイベントができたなっていう鮮烈に覚えていて、そうスタッフさんの人たちもみんな好きなんですよね。
そうね。そうね。それは確かにあるかもね。
それを感じながらこうイベントをさせていただくのが自分の中ですごく印象に残ってて、そういう熱い体験
Well, they
とか
better
っていうの
acknowledge the
も
overseas audience chat.
お二人の中にはあるのかなって
This is
いう
a
のは
stream for the
ちょっと思ってはい
overseas
ます
audience.
そうね。
はい
ありますよね。それね。
あります。やっぱりこの熱量の話で思い出したのが、やっぱりこういうステージに行かせていただいた時、せっかくなので日本語でセリフを言わせていただくじゃないですか。ふわーって言ってくれるんです。
FO がね
そうこれ
そうね
あんまりにもその日本のバラエティーに慣れすぎてしまって、
ね
日本のみんな私のセリフ多分生で聞いてないです。やってない、そんなにやってない。
そっか
確かに
そうやってないからこそこういうねコンベンションとか行かせていただいて、じゃあマシュのセリフお願いしますって言われないとやんないから、
確かに
フォーって言われてないなって
確かにね。
で言われてフォーって言われることもないもんね。
なくて、
ないないない。
ね、
It's
昨年だったから
interesting. I
行か
never
せていただいた
realized
時にフォーって盛り上がってくださって、私って声優さんなんだ
そこで自覚を
ちょっと自覚しちゃいました。うわ、なんかお仕事頑張れそうみたいな
モチベーションにも
モチベーションをいただきました。
まあそこは日本人の内気さもね相まってね。
そうですね、皆さん結構でも分かる。
日本は日本
噛み
で
締めるんです。
そう皆さん噛み締めてくださってますからね。
噛み締めるタイプだったんですけど、
そうそうそう
ふわーって浴びたっていうのが刺激的でした。
なるほど。いろいろあるんだね。僕もアニメイベントでアメリカを出ましたことあったんですけど、まあイベントはあんま関係ないんですけど、
If I were in my normal composure chat, I could sit here for forever.
そうなんか
But
全体
like,
的に広くて大きいなと思って。
I am literally just dying here.
道行くアメリカの方々に結構こう話しかけたいんだけど、なんか
Wake you with a
ちょ
hype
っと緊
train.
張するみたいなところがありつつ、で僕見た目がこんなんなんで。結構向こうの皆さんからキッズだ
Oh,
と
we can't even call it 99%. It's 100%. They've not said anything about
若く見ら
LB7.
れるからだからホテルとかに泊まらせてもらってた時とかにもベッドメイキングの方とかとたまたまお会いするすれ違う時とかもあって、そこもなんかすごい かわいいね坊やみたいなはいみたいな感じで接してくださって、だからなんかこれはこれで嬉しいな
得してる感じが。
そうだからちょっと
I mean, maybe all they're gonna do is trot out the
結
banner.
構アメリカではありました。
Or sorry, trot out the trailer. Say it's arriving tomorrow. You pass the thing, and like it's just gonna take them like 10 minutes.
フォーって言ってくれますか。
拍手をみんなで。
ぜひお願いします。
はい、ちょっとまだまだ話足りないんですけれども、そろそろお時間が来てしまったようです。ということでね、改めましてユーザーさんに向けて皆さんから一言ずついただきたいんですけれども、今話していたように私たちもまたいつかね遊びに行ける日を楽しみにしておりますので、それまでフォーっていう準備待ってます。ちょっとぜひ熱量をねそのままに楽しんでいていただけると嬉しいです。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
はい、では私豊中から豊中でございます。
Honestly, she was
皆さん
easier
楽
to
しんで
pay
いただけておりますでしょうか。
attention to than anything
まあ
Albert
この後ね我々今回ねビデオコメントという形でございましたけれども、まあお二方が言っていたようにぜひまたね現地にもというかそちらにもお伺いしたいなと思いますので、機会がありましたらぜひ
You're going for 10 minutes. I'll be saying this one. Yeah.
よろしくお願いします。ありがとうございます。
改めましてベリルガット役の石谷春樹です。皆様やっぱ FGO 熱ってどの国でも変わらないんだなっていうのを改めてこうやって3人で話し
I
な
don't
がら
have issue with them like doing long streams.
これからさらに続いていく
The timing is shit.
FGO
It's like,
さらに
guys, you
盛り
could've
上がっていくと思いますので皆様ぜひとも楽しみにしていてください。もうそれを見ながらフォーと言ってください。お願いします。よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます。それではスタジオの川澄さん、みにゃお戻しします。バイバイ。
At least they had fun.
めちゃめちゃ楽しそうでしたね。はい、ありがとうござい
Did
ま
they
した。
make them sit there for that whole thing?
Okay, so thank you for the wonderful comment video. And with that, I would like to go into our next surprise. Actually, to kind
We haven't
of
had a
wrap up
surprise
this
yet.
whole, I'm moving this table way too much. To wrap up this entire Roll 27 series, we actually work with two very special American comic book artists to create special art for you guys. So let's
This
take
two's not Marvel.
a look.
おお、すごい。か
I actually really like the colored one there.
なんて豪華な。
ね。
The right one could be nice,
So
but
we hope
it
everybody
looks
enjoyed
weird
these
because it's
two.
a
But
Western
we'd
style.
like to, Michael, we'd like to introduce our two
Absolutely.
esteemed artists that we had the opportunity to work with.
I would love to. Our first artist that we had the pleasure of working with is Sweeney Boo. She is a comic artist, illustrator, and writer who works with a number of publishers, including Boom Studios, Archie Comics, Dark Horse, Dynamite, IDW, Marvel, Image Comics, DC Comics, and more. She's also the author of graphic novels Eat and Love Yourself and Over My Dead Body, and she's the current artist for the ongoing Harley Quinn DC Comics specials.
Wow.
And that's quite a resume.
That's quite a resume. Yeah.
すごい。
Our second artist is the irreplaceable Adi Grenov, who is an illustrator and conceptual designer who is best known for his work with Marvel Comics on characters ranging from the X-Men to Iron Man to Captain America and Spider-Man and so many more, and has even done concept art for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wow.
Yeah, like the art style's not bad. It just doesn't really feel like
す
it
ごい豪
fits.
華なコラボ。
Yeah, it's been an honor to work with these two.
Yeah. And we will have the art be uploaded to our social media later. So please
I do like that they
take a
got
look
someone else
and let
other
us
than Nabi
know
to do it, though.
what you think about the art. And next, I would like to share a little bit more information regarding Lost Spell 7. So here's the logo for Lost
Finally.
Spell number 7. Lost Spell number 7 will be split into two parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 of Lost Spell 7, the next slide please. And regarding the release date of Lost Spell number 7, the release date of Lost Spell number 7 will be December 25th, 2024. The eligibility will be to clear Tsunkuska Sanctuary, so make sure you catch up on the story.
Just the epilogue
So
chat.
we
Don't read
have the
slides.
prologue text for the Lost Spell number 7. Kawasumi-san, is it okay if you read the prologue text for us?
はい。 異性の神による方向界への強襲。多大な犠牲を払いつつもストームボーダーによる脱出を果たしたカルデアは、地球の支配者たらんとする傍若無人な神の目論見を阻止するため、第7異分隊への突入を試みる。南米アマゾン熱帯雨林、肥沃な大地と生い茂る樹木があまたの生命を育む。この星の命のゆりかごだった場所、空想の根を宿した今は、干からびた土壌と分厚い雷雲が空を閉ざす死の大地へと変わり果てていた。なぜこのような環境になったのか。一体この歴史には何があったのか。命を拒絶する過酷な環境へと変貌した南米異分隊にて、人類はただ一つ息吹く命と相対する。
Thank you for reading the prologue. And actually, to go with that, we do have a bit of a short
Yeah, it's basically
scenario video for you. So let's take a look.
Oh, the trailer. Time to get copy struck. Let's go. Oh, no, never mind. Scared sword? Yikes. How do you have a typo in the preview trailer? Hey yo. Let's bring Catching Jaguar Man with us, yeah. Wait, Habitat lives in the shield? Yep. I wonder how much they're going to show here, because the trailer definitely spoiled some stuff. Or rather, literally hinted heavily at something. Wub wub. Uh-oh. How encountering Zeus should have been.
右下にありますけど。
A++, yeah.
So a lot of things seems to be happening with Lost Spell number 7. So please play through the story and find out what's going to happen in Lost Spell number 7. Now, with the Lost Spell number
It's
7,
not EX
next
because it's technically not unique, right?
there will be new materials that will be added to the story. So these are going to be used for skill up and ascension materials. You can get them as drops from going through the main story. Also, you'll be able to get them from the free quest in part 2, Lost Spell number 7.
You won't be able to farm
And
right away.
also, next, of course, there won't be just items that are going to be added with the new story.
What else could it be?
What else could it be? I don't know. Of course, I got a video, so let's take a look.
Here it is, chat. Yep. We fucking called it, man. Yeah, so that is early, chat. She is not supposed to come out with part 1.
我が手に計るこれよりは冥府
Means Cat gets to roll off that too.
今こそ罪の祭典をネフェルスエアノビス
Why? Why not?
So a new 5-star Avenger Nitocris Altar will be coming with the Lost Spell number 7. The pickup summon will be available from December
she's pretty
25th,
good.
2024 to January 7th, 2025. So please use this chance to get Nitocris
Chat, have I
Altar.
done a video on?
Now we're talking about Nitocris.
I know, right?
Tanaka-san, can you tell us a little bit more about this servant? Obviously, without too much spoiler, we want people to find out for themselves, but
はい、そうですね。ニトクリスは一部の方でキャメロットで出てきて、最初は敵と思ったんですけど、だんだんこう味方になってくれてという形で、今回は最初からニトクリスストーリーで助けを求める声に応じ参上したニトクリスとあるんで、一緒に来てくれるんですけど、なぜこうオルタとして今登場しているのかっていうのはもちろんストーリーをやっていただければわかると思いますし、まあね、アベンジャーですからもうすごく強いしかっこいいし、どんどんね再臨状態によっても姿が変わりますので、ちょっとその部分を楽しみにしていただきつつ、どういうオルタなのか、ちょっとニトクリスのポンコツな部分が残っているのかっていうのをねもうぜひ実際にプレイしてみて確かめてほしいなって思います。
ありがとうございます。And also, of course, with every single new chapter, we do also have the animation trailer for
here we
Lost
go.
Spell number 7. So let's first take a look.
9つの層で分かたれし地底世界カルデアのオーダーはここで終わる。フェイトグランドオーダーコスモス・イン・ザ・ロストベルト黄金樹海機構ナウイ・ミクトラ人類の敵として真実を伝えよう。
Wait, was that the second form of the
And
trailer?
actually, in addition,
what?
we have one more animation trailer, but this time with a different narration.
Yeah.
So please, everyone, take a look.
9つの層で分かたれし地底世界神話がここで生まれる。フェイトグランドオーダーコスモス・イン・ザ・ロストベルト黄金樹海機構ナウイ・ミクトラ表に出てくるがいい人類ども。
Wonder who that was.
What's that? A lot is going on in that trailer. A lot is going on. So the animation production for the for the trailer will be Drive,
No.
and the both version of the trailer will be uploaded to the Aniplex of America official YouTube channel. So please take a look. And also have one more thing I would like to share. We have a smartphone wallpaper giveaway campaign. So you simply have to share the special page on our social media and you will be able to get this wallpaper.
No, maintenance will
The
probably
actual
start
information
here.
will be
Well,
revealed later, so please
correction,
pay
it
attention
just
to our
started.
social media and the official website for more information. And that's the information we have for Lost Spell 7. So I will actually go over the information again. So before we sign off, I just want to do one final reminder regarding the release date of Lost Spell number 7. Lost Spell number 7 will be released on December 25th, 2024. And again, the eligibility is that you have to clear Tunguska Sanctuary. So please, if you have not caught up yet, use the time to make sure you caught up to the latest story so you can participate in Lost Spell number 7. And that will be the information we have for today. And time flies when we're having fun.
That it does.
Actually, I wish we have 10 more hours, as I always say, but unfortunately, we don't have 10 more hours. Maybe next time we can, just do like different segments. We'll book out more days.
If people like this enough.
Yeah, we can do more of this in the future. But that is unfortunately the end of the program for today. But before we go, we'd like to ask each of the guests to give one closing comment. So first, Kawasumi-san.
はい、皆さんご覧いただきましてありがとうございました。なんかすごく私たちも振り返ることができて楽しかったですし、そして何よりもやっぱりこのね、英語版のスタッフの皆さんがフェイトのこと、FGO のことすごく愛してくださって、丁寧にローカライズしてくださってるから、アメリカでもねいつもイベント行くたびに皆さんがすごく盛り上がってくれて大好きでいてくれるんだなっていうことを改めて思って、本当に皆さんにもお礼を申し上げます。ありがとうございました。でこれから7章あと1ヶ月ぐらいかなということでねあると思うんですけど、もう7章も本当にいろいろ起こっていろいろ魅力的なキャラクターも出てきてとっても楽しいので、ぜひ皆さん楽しみにしてください。まだ到達してない方はですね頑張ってツングースカまで行ってもらいたいと思います。今日はどうもありがとうございました。
私の方からもコメントをさせていただきます。本当にこの北米版でもネタバレありで、皆さんたちにお話できてとっても嬉しかったです。このロードトゥーセブンの試作日本でもやっていて、私も出演させてもらったんですけど、すごい全部振り返ることが今回できたので、すごい私にとっても美味しかったなと言いますか、なんか本当にその北米版のこの英語版のこの皆さんのスタッフの皆さんの愛ももちろんそうですし、こういう私の中でも新しい発見とか、なんかもう何度でも泣けるなっていう私も FGO フェイト本当に大好きなので、こうしてこの会に参加することができてすごく嬉しかったです。そしてなんといってもニトクリス・オルタが今後登場、ついに皆さんの元にやってくるっていうのが私も非常に嬉しいです。いやなんか私にとってもニトクリスって私がこうフェイトの作品に参加させていただいた初めてのサーバントなので、私にとってもすごく特別ですし、そんなニトちゃんがオルタになってどういった活躍をしてくれるのかっていうのもそうですし、この7章も非常に内容が濃いので覚悟してきっとマスターの皆さんなら大丈夫だと思うんですけど、とにかくねこの1ヶ月間でいっぱいいろんなサーバントを育成した方がいいんじゃないかなと思います。そうですね。はい。ぜひぜひ厳しい戦いにはなると思うんですけど、頑張って楽しんでいただければなと思います。今日は本当にありがとうございました。
Basically after New Year's before part 2.
はい、安城です。そうですね。振り返りも。
Bro didn't even get to talk about like all the hard work he put into
我々も引き続き今まで以上に開発を頑張りますのでよろしくお願いします。
And before we wrap everything up, I'm actually been given a sacred duty. Of making this next announcement. So, of course, we have a social media campaign, and we reached the social media campaign, and therefore, we'll be giving everybody 6 coins.
We reached it 6 months ago, Chad.
But as a celebration for today's program, we'll be giving away 10 more coins. So, a total of 6 coins. I did it. I did my duty.
I fulfilled my duty. I mean, I'm fine
so
with
before
it.
we wrap it up, Michael, do you have
complain
any
about
closing
that.
comments for today?
This has been such a great conversation, especially to get to talk with with both voice actors and the development team. It's perspectives, working in North America, we don't get your perspectives on these things. So it's so fascinating to know what you're passionate about, to see your passion for the project, to hear how you feel about the characters, how you feel about the story, to share some of our experiences with you. This has been great. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. I hope we get to do something like this again. I hope you guys, everyone watching, enjoyed this as much as we did, because this has just been a wonderful time for us. So thank you, all of you, so much for coming.
Not on Christmas Eve. Like, any other time the stream would have been fine. Christmas Eve?
I
No,
cannot say it
guys.
better. So to wrap it up, I just want to thank all the guests today for joining us for today's program. It is a wonderful opportunity to have this chance to speak to everybody regarding their perspective on the development of Fate Grand Order. We hope everybody at home also enjoyed this program and get a little bit insight into behind the scene. So if you guys like it, hopefully we can do more of this in the future. Maybe about once a year, twice a year, we'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, Kawasumi. That it? That it? Are we dead, Jim? Are we dead? I can't tell. Just wanted to go back to actually double check so that I don't make an ass of myself. Okay. Hopefully it's fixed by now. Hopefully.
皆さんご覧いただき、私の方からもコメントをさ
Conversation, especially to get to talk. Thank you, all of you.
Yeah. Again, I'm happy we're getting Nito early. It does mean she'll be freed up for like other banners that might have overlapped with her. So, like I said, she's permanent, but she's not permanent until her banner ends. So her banner will end faster now, putting her into the general pool, meaning when you guys roll later in the year, you'll have more opportunities. Where was it? Where was the reveal that she was there?
December 25th, 2024 to January 7th, 2025. So please use this chance to get Nito Chris altered. Now we're talking.
Okay, just taking that. I'm into Twitter with it. Okay. I did my tweet. Chat, thank you all for staying with me. I was going to finish the rolls, but because this went on so long, and because I need to try to be up if I wish to open presents with the rest of my family, my ass is probably going to go to bed tonight. I will continue this. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the day after. I'll let you guys know. But that will be a thing. Let me find somebody to love. I'm seeing Mr. CZ on. He's playing some FGO, so you guys can always go talk to him about the news. CZ's a good buddy of mine. He's a member of Team Explosion. Loves to stream FGO as well as several other gacha games. So you guys can always talk to him about the news here. And he'll be pretty authoritative on his own. So again, thank you guys for being here. If I don't get to see you guys for a little bit, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and again, have a Happy New Year. I appreciate you all sticking around. I'm glad I toughed it out, but man, was that a long stream. So I will see you guys for the next one. Go give Mr. CZ my love. Good night.